is swung on and hit in the air to right field deep. And you can't forget about this one. Blaze Salter hits number 5, and the Newport Gulls retake the lead.
This is the Newport Gulls pregame show, live from Cardines Field in Newport, Rhode Island.
Gone! A grand slam! Two-left power, right tower power, and the Gulls walk off in the 15th inning!
Coming up, interviews, stats, standings, lineups, and a whole lot more.
Tomas steps to the back for one out, throws to first. It is in time, a double play.
Pitch, breaking ball lifted deep to center field, and it is gone! A two-run shot for Cody Hosey.
Taking a high drive, left field deep. Lozano going back, looking up. This ball is a two-run homer. P.J. Jones hits it out.
Stay tuned. The pregame show begins now on the NECBL Broadcast Network. In his first season covering Newport Gulls baseball, here is play-by-play broadcaster Zach Letson.
For a third straight game and fourth time this summer, it's Gulls and it's Schooners. Hi everybody, Zach Letson welcoming you to Newport's 18th game this season. The Gulls were supposed to play here Monday against Martha's Vineyard until Mother Nature had other plans. So Newport's last matchup was against the very same Mystic Schooners over at Dodge Stadium on Sunday. The two teams split a 7-inning doubleheader. Who will have the edge tonight? Well, we'll find out at 6:35, but first the Gulls pregame show starts right now. All right, back here on the Gulls pregame show, Zach Letson, joined by Gulls pitching coach Dan Gosofsky before the Gulls take on the Schooners. Coach, couple of off days, back-to-back off days, but Sunday, Newport splits that doubleheader, and you get 10 innings out of your starting pitching, just one earned run. You had to be pleased with that.
Yeah, it was great. You know, when you go into a 7-inning contest, you go in there knowing that your starter's got to give you a good one, not a whole lot of room to play with, and we got them out of both our starters. You know, it was tough to just take one out of the two, but, you know, certainly great to have Logan respond like he did. Gave us a really good effort and really a tough ball game, I thought. He had some challenging situations. So, you know, we turned to Kevin Sider tonight, and he's been good for us all summer, so we're expecting another good one out of him.
Well, speaking of Kevin Sider, 7-inning doubleheaders, starting pitching, he was sensational the last time he pitched for Newport. 6 no-hit innings against the North Shore Navigators, getting that Week 2 NECBL honor roll recipient. How can he try to replicate that here tonight? What do you think is the key for him to try to go out there and do it again?
Well, you know, we've seen the Schooners a couple times, like you referenced, and, you know, I think we have a good idea of how to handle some of their middle-of-the-order bats. You know, I think we respect, you know, certainly Kopak and Farrer from UConn. So, you know, I think we'll go in there with a pretty good plan. But, you know, Kevin's also got pretty good stuff. You know, if he can just get ahead in counts and be able to use both sides of the plate with his fastball, I like his chances.
Well, I want to step away from the technical side of baseball for a minute. It's your first year as the pitching coach here for the Newport Gulls. Of course, it's Frank Holbrook's first year as manager. Not your average manager pitching coach dynamic. You guys played together in college. You've gotten to work with Holbrook. You've gotten to work with Ted Regan. How have you enjoyed this as your first summer here coaching with the Gulls?
It's been a treat, man. It's been a real good time. You know, I think I think we're starting to find our way, but you know, from the first day here, it's really been just smooth sailing. You know, Newport's a great town to play in. We have great fans here, so really no complaints, man. You know, I think we're going to pull it together as a club, and excited. You know, really enjoying my time here.
Well, hopefully Newport can sail smooth tonight. Coach Gus, thanks for the time.
Thanks, Zach.
All right, the pregame show rolls on right here on the NECBL Broadcast Network. All right, back here on the Gulls pregame show, it's Gulls Eye View. Zach Letson joined by Newport Gulls pitcher Logan McGuire. Logan, you were a Week 3 NECBL honor roll recipient, and while you had a good start to the year, kind of untapped territory that you got into on Sunday in that win for the Newport Gulls. 5 innings, just 1 earned run, 10 strikeouts. What do you think was working for you?
Honestly, my fastball, the mound was a little flat, and first of all, I don't really like that, but I like more of a steeper mound, so I had to make an adjustment to the mound, really, and once I made that adjustment, it was after probably around the 2nd inning. It was a lot easier to, I really didn't try to throw the ball nearly as hard, and I got on top of it a lot easier, so I would just say probably getting back into my back leg was more more than anything, working that, and then that helped with my fastball, and everything else was just normal feel. So.
Well, a lot of guys come into summer ball after not playing maybe a ton at the college level. Not really the case with you. You pitch in 18 games with the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets. You guys make the NCAA tournament. That was just in your freshman season. But what did you take away from year one down in Atlanta?
Yeah, absolutely. One thing that I learned, being able to watch a lot of the guys that are older than me, main thing was that you can't leave off-speed pitches in the middle of the plate. I could control a fastball. That's why I got away with being able to win a lot of battles. But early on, I tried to throw off-speed 0-0, curveball down the middle, and I figured that did not work. Guys are a lot better at the D1 level than they are in high school, and it was that was just my biggest takeaway, and being able to work on that in the summer, I think would be huge for next year for myself, along with getting bigger and stronger. But being able to control the fastball to all sides of the plate is, I think, the best thing any pitcher can do. And once you do that, working on staying low in the zone with your off speed, or even working on the outside part of the plate with my slider, that was the two biggest things for me, and that helped me, like you said, from my last outing.
Well, you were great. Dominic Parachi was great. As a starting pitching unit, you guys go 10 innings, 1 earned run, 16 strikeouts. That's pretty hard to sustain, but how can you guys maybe try to sustain that and continue to try to get W's here down the stretch here?
Yeah, really, it's as simple as just being ourselves. I was talking to Dom right before our outing, and all we said was that we're just going to go out there and try and shove and do nothing more than that. And, it just happened that we did really well, and hopefully we keep that going through. But, he has the same mindset. He's very, very loose, just like myself. And, he just goes out there, throws a lot of strikes, not a lot of walks, and get ahead of hitters. And, that's how you win ball games.
Well, we've talked plenty about your experience on the diamond with your teammates, with Parachi, but maybe getting away from a bit. This isn't exactly your normal summer ball location here in Newport, Rhode Island. What's one thing that's stuck out to you, whether it's a funny teammate, maybe going to the beach on an off day, one thing that you've really enjoyed that stuck out to you here now that a couple weeks into the summer ball season here in Newport?
Yeah, so I'm actually staying with the host family, the McCombs, and they're an awesome family. I'm staying with two younger guys, Brady and Ryder. Shout out to them. I don't know, they're about to be here, but they're awesome. Being able to play with somebody who has been around the Newport Gulls for such a long time and just love this area. That's probably my biggest takeaway. Just being on a team that everybody loves, and we come out to a home game and you see 3,000 plus people here almost every home game, and that it's awesome. And not only that, we're playing right off the beach. There's nothing. It's definitely way cooler than anywhere else. I love Atlanta, so I can't really say Atlanta, but anywhere else, it's definitely an awesome place, and I'm with an awesome family. So,
well, should be another packed house here tonight. That's Georgia Tech's Logan McGuire. Logan, thanks for the time.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
All right, the pregame show rolls on right here on the NECBL Broadcast Network. All right, back here on the Gulls pregame show, time for the Broadcasters Roundtable. I'm joined by the voice of the Mystic Schooners, Jacob Irons, along with the Newport Gulls field reporter, Shane Briggs, breaking down matchup number 4 between these two teams this season. And, well, Jacob, these teams haven't played a game since matchups 2 and 3, 2 thrilling games. Both came down to the wire. We talked about it plenty in Norwich, but that's all these two teams seem to play, is these thrilling, nail-biting one-run games.
Yeah, and like I talked about, Zach, like we've said on every broadcast so far this season, when these two teams meet, you have to circle it. It's got to be in the NECBL calendar, because these two teams, because of the close ride, have that nice little rivalry against each other, and it shows they're very comparable teams. And like in the last game we saw, they were 7-7 in hits. However, Newport edged out Mystic 3-2. And like you talked about, this is now game 4 of the series. 2 of them coming, and now going to be 3 today.
So 2 one-run games, Mystic winning game 1, 2-1, Newport winning game 2, 3-2. Since then, though, Shane, Newport was supposed to play here Monday night. Mother Nature had other plans. It was a rain out, so that'll be made up with the Martha's Vineyard Sharks in a doubleheader. But now all of a sudden, Newport's had some time to rest, get their mind right ahead of an important matchup against a division rival.
Yeah, the first back-to-back days off for the Gulls all year this year. We had the rain out Monday, like you said, and then a rest day yesterday. So 2 days off, coming in rested, coming in feeling good, hopeful, I'm assuming, and looking forward to matchup number 4 with the Schooners tonight.
All right, should be a good one. Gulls Schooners rivalry, chapter number 4. Coming up next, we'll see you up in the booth. It is time for chapter number 4 between the Newport Gulls and the Mystic Schooners in the 2022 season. Hi, everybody. So glad you can be with us. Clear skies, a perfect day for baseball here on Wednesday night. Zach Letson joined alongside the voice of the Mystic Schooners, Jacob Irons, as long as the field reporter for the Newport Gulls, Shane Briggs, getting things set about 9 minutes away from first pitch as we have our starting lineups being handed out here at Cardines Field. Expect another good one. That's kind of the name of the game when you talk about these two teams. 3 games, and Newport has outscored Mystic in those 3 games by 1 run combined, Jacob.
1 run. What these games are really tight-knit and tightly wound games that you're going to have to want to take note of when these two teams meet, especially in a tight coastal race where Mystic's only 1.5 back. In Newport's case, they're only a half game back from Martha's Vineyard leading this way. And as we understand, winning the division is so important this year. So in a tightly wound game, when these two teams meet, they are playing for everything they got to maybe potentially punch their ticket to a postseason run.
Yeah, to kind of set the table, Newport is technically in second right now with a 9-8 record. Martha's Vineyard in first at 10-8. The Gulls right now have the tiebreaker over the Sharks. So if they were to have the same record, Newport would have the benefit of the doubt. Martha's Vineyard has played 1 extra game than Newport, and we will certainly keep an eye tonight as they take on the Ocean State Waves. But, Shane, this is a Gulls team that had a couple days off, kind of unexpected. Newport was supposed to face Martha's Vineyard here on Monday. Weather had other plans. That game gets rained out, a very rainy day across the entire day here in Newport. So that saved the Sharks a boat ride over here to maybe not play baseball. That will be made up in a doubleheader on July the 20th. So that matchup will wait, but no baseball for Newport Monday, no baseball for Newport Tuesday, and that's kind of weird. Something Newport hasn't really experienced this summer.
Yeah, a weird little, like you said, we've never had back-to-back days off, so for the guys to have 2 days off, one of them unexpected, one of them planned, but to have that rain out giving what should hopefully be some beneficial rest. These guys are out here every single day, working, work hard, play hard. And so to have those 2 days off and to get some rest to recoup, to do their thing, should hopefully bode well, knock on wood. I don't want to jinx anybody, but hoping for the best for the Gulls out here and hoping that the rest helps out.
Well, it is game 4 between these 4 teams. First home game of the entire season was against the Mystic Schooners. Newport won that one by a final of 8-7. And then Sunday, the last time both of these teams played, it was a 7-inning doubleheader. Mystic took game 1 in walk-off fashion by a final of 2-1, and then Newport won game 2 in once again nail-biting fashion by a score of 3-2. And neither team has played since. Both times have had a lot of time to sit and think, Jacob, as they prepare for this matchup tonight.
Yeah, like you said, when you've seen the same team for now the 3rd consecutive time with 2 off days in between, you start thinking about that loss. What could you have done better? And especially when you're coming up against a team that, like we've talked about, you've been tightly wound with. I think it's going to be a very interesting game. And now you're in the confines of Cardines Field here, which is going to be a little more favorable comparative to Dodd for the hitter. It really is. Dodd Stadium is the pitcher's ballpark right now. Cardines Field is a hitter's ballpark. We saw that last time, and the score is 8-7 when these two teams last met. And Charlie Pagliarini hit a grand slam that brought Mystic back into that game. So really, this is a hitter. I think it's going to be a hitter's game tonight.
All the stats would indicate exactly what you're talking about in terms of home road splits, ERA, batting average, all of the above. Well, we'll have plenty more to discuss, give you starting lineups, more about the matchup, starting pitchers for both of these teams here for the Newport Gulls. Let's send it down to the field here tonight for tonight's pregame festivities. Mike Falcone is down there. It is Newport County Prevention Night here at Cardines Field, and plenty of pregame festivities followed by tonight's national anthem, after we will join you back here up in the booth at Cardines Field.
For our kids. I personally appreciate it, and I too would like to read the citation I have. It is hereby known to all that the Rhode Island House of Representatives hereby offers its sincerest congratulations to Ray Davis, Assistant Director, Newport County Prevention Coalition, on your retirement after 25 years of clinical service and providing effective substance use prevention strategies, mental health advocacy, and treatment options for the people of Newport County. Thank you.
Awesome stuff. Thank you so much, Senator 70, Representative Corcoran, for coming out tonight, and the rest of the Newport County Prevention members is coalition in each of the towns and cities here in Newport County, so we have representation from each and every one of those. We also have a few police officers who are community police officers for Newport, both Brittany Rimke and Frank Pieri. Thank you so much for all your dedication to this. Now I'd like to introduce a few ceremonial first pitches. First up, it's Paul Parcheski. He's the Director of Pharmacy at the Newport Hospital and a board member on the Prevention Coalition. He uses his experience as a pharmacist to help educate youth and community members about the risks of medication misuse, including prescription drugs and over-the-counter medicine. Let's see what you got. You sign it. Now I'd like to welcome Hakeem Goggins. He's a program assistant with Newport Prevention Coalition and recently hired to support individuals in recovery at Hope Recovery Center in Middletown. Hakeem has made a life-changing commitment to helping to prevent individuals from experiencing the consequences of substance misuse and addiction. Thank you, Hakeem. Lastly, seems like the man of the hour here, Mr. Ray Davis, the Assistant Director of Newport County Prevention Coalition since 2017. He's capping off a 20-year career as a Certified Prevention Specialist Supervisor. He's celebrated across Rhode Island for his dedication to the field of substance abuse, and his colleagues like to take this opportunity to congratulate Ray and wish him the very best in retirement, which starts next week. Hopefully his Cleveland Guardians can pull up a World Series this year. We'll see. At this time, I'd like you please all to rise and remove your caps. Here with us tonight to present the nation's colors is Middletown Boy Scouts Pack 77. And to perform tonight's national anthem, from Portsmouth, Rhode Island, a recent graduate of Stonehill College, Caitlin Costa. And the cast of many musicals, including Velma in Chicago and Dorothy in Wizard of Oz, and is now currently employed at the Newport Playhouse as a featured cabaret singer.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous streaming, and the rockets red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Let's give it up once more for the Newport County Prevention Coalition. Kicking it off the year. Now, let's get ready to play some baseball.
Comes into our half.
It's almost that time. First pitch right around the corner. A great rendition of the national anthem by Caitlin Costa. We are ready to go. First home game in 5 days for the Newport Gulls. Home game number 8 this summer. 8 of 21, nearing right around, well, actually past the 1/3 mark, and season is chugging along, almost into the month of July here, June the 29th. Matchup number 4 between these two teams, and it's been as good as advertised. 3 separate one-run games, 8-7 Newport here on June the 8th, and then on June 26th over at Newport's first games ever, in 8 years at Dodge Stadium. Newport loses game 1 2-1, and wins game 2 by a final of 3-2, and well, that's what's brought us here. 3 close matchups for 2 teams that are real tight in these standings.
It really is tight, and as you see in the Coastal Division, there's only 1 game separating Mystic and Newport right now, as Mystic 7-8, Newport 9-8. It really is going to come down, I feel, in the Coastal Division all the way till the end of the season, because this Coastal Division is so tightly wound. However, these 2 teams are really looking strong, and they look very comparable, which is always exciting when you can have 2 comparable teams face off against each other.
Should be set for a good one on what is a pinch-perfect day for baseball. Had some rain that pushed Newport's last home game back an hour. That is not the case tonight. 9-8 Newport, set to take on 7-8 Mystic, and we talked about it plenty, Jacob. Real interesting. Of course, Newport saw a fairly similar lineup because these teams played just 3 days ago, but less than half of Mystic's starting 9 from the first matchup between these 2 teams on June 8th is on this team anymore.
Yeah, it really is impressive, and it just speaks to how much turnover there is in summer baseball, and really those mainstays are going to be McAllister, McGirt, Kopak, as you know, has always been around in Schooner Blue, as well as you're also talking about Charlie Pagliarini, one of those mainstay at third base. The only guy that really saw action in that first game when they played here at Cardians Field was Stanton Luthner. Came in there as a pinch hitter and really just stayed in there, and he's become a veteran player for this team. Has the day off today. Logan Allen's going to be there in at shortstop, but really just goes to show you how much turnover there is in college summer baseball right now.
Well, it's going to be a very different looking lineup for this Mystic team. Enough of the talk, though, Jacob. How is Mystic going to look 1 through 9 here tonight as they look to take their second game of this 6-game set between the 2 teams?
In left field today, it's going to be number 36, Kevin Ferrer from UConn. Then it's going to be number 6, Joe Jakonski out of UNC Chapel Hill. Then the URI student-athlete Addison Kopak will hold down the duties over at first. Anthony D'Onofrio, the Quinnipiac University guy and hero, in the first game of that doubleheader will play center field. Logan Allen making his first start back after taking some time off due to medical issues. He'll be at shortstop today. And then Charlie Paglian out of Fairfield University at the hot corner. Then Tristan McAllister finds himself over in right field. Troy McGirt from Wake Forest University transferring to Elon will be the designated hitter today. And rounding out will be Jackson DeJean out of St. Bonaventure University. He'll do the catching duties today for the Schooners.
That is the Mystic lineup. It was, well, a couple of pitchers duels over at Don Stadium, 2-1 and 3-2 the final scores. Game one of that doubleheader had no score through 7 innings, and it being a 7-inning doubleheader, Mystic walked it off in the bottom of the 8th. That 1 through 9 for the Schooners will be going up against Newport starting pitcher out of Quinnipiac University, Kevin Sider, the right-hander. He has been as good as you can be for Newport this summer. 3 games, including a start. His last start, or his only start this season, you could point at as probably the best start a Newport Gull has had. 6 no-hit innings against the North Shore Navigators. The Gulls fell in heartbreaking fashion, 1-0 in 8 innings in that game. But on the season, you're talking about a .9 ERA in 10 innings pitched, 2 hits, 1 run, 11 strikeouts to 4 balls. He is on the mound, the defense behind him. Colton Freeman playing in the second game, his first at Cardines and his first start as a Newport Gull. He plays in left, Colton Ledbetter in center, Alec Makarevich in right, left to right across the infield, Luke Beckstein at third, Josh Kuroda-Grauer back at shortstop, Trent Farquhar at second, Sam Kulas-Singham at first, and the battery mate for Sider is Jake Burley. And we're just about set for baseball here, 6:42. And the first offering from Sider gets Ferrer right on the back. That'll wake you up.
That's a nice little welcome to the ball game here. If you're Ferrer, is now a run around here for Mystic and no outs. Now that's going to bring up Joe Jakonski, who really has been a hot bat, was a hot bat in that Sunday series. And that doubleheader looks to continue that here, now just switching locations but versus the team they face.
First pitch coming in at 6:42 Eastern, 72 degrees and sunny. Here in the 8th home game Newport's played in 2022. As Jakonski digs in and looks at a first pitch down low. And we talked a little bit about Sider. He's mostly a fastball guy, gone to the fastball in 58% of his pitches. Slider is his second most common pitch at 22, while the curveball is third at 11% through his first 3 outings. Large lead for Ferrer as that's in there for a strike, says home plate umpire Matthew Gattain. He calls the balls and strikes. Christopher Lima and Frank Graney are the umpires in the field tonight. A lefty awaiting a 1-1 pitch. It comes in upstairs now. 2-1 to the North Carolina Tar Heel hitting in the 2-hole.
And Jakonski, first UNC Chapel Hill guy to ever find themselves on a Mystic Schooner roster, building that new relationship down in North Carolina for the Schooners.
Fastball's driven back out of play, 89 miles an hour from the Bobcat. And I had to figure he learned a lot. That is a program, one of the better programs in all of college baseball right now, down there in Chapel Hill. They made the move over from longtime manager Fox over to Scott Forbes. Mike Fox, that is, and found themselves in a super regional this past season. 2-2 from Sider. Shot over on the left side. Kuroda-Grauer charges, fires over to first, scooped up by Kulas-Singham, and there's the first out of the night.
Nice job by Kuroda-Grauer coming in on it, because it's a slow roller essentially in that infield grass right there, as Kuroda-Grauer has to charge it, and a great job by Kulas-Singham to reach out and play it off the bounce.
JKG has spent time in the outfield. He's also getting quite used to spending a lot of time at shortstop. And a utility glove, certainly very useful for this Gulls team, as a dangerous man against the Newport Gulls. And here at Cardines Field, Addison Kopak digs in. The Mystic 3-hitter up with a man on second, just 1 out here. 91 on the fastball from Sider for strike 1. Talked about Kopak. He has played in all 3 games against the Newport Gulls. 4 for 10 and 3 of those hits, extra base hits, a home run as well as 2 doubles.
Yeah, his first at-bat here in the 2022 season was a long ball right over center field.
That got the game started. Sam Colasingham answered back with a home run in the first Gulls at bat here at Cardines Field. And it was off to the races from there. 8-7 the final. Charlie Pagliarini with a grand slam for the Schooners. Parker Haskin with the game-winning hit. A pinch hit double off the bench in the 8th inning. 1-1 to Kopak. Off speed, grounded back up the middle. Krodegrauer fields. On to first in time. That's back-to-back nice plays from JKG, the Rutgers kid, for out number 2.
Krodegrauer, nice job shading over to second base. That's normally a routine ball that would just run right up the middle. However, Grauer with his speed is able to get over there in time and make a play and send it over to Colasingham.
Yeah, had a great chance of getting through for a single. Potentially could have been yet another RBI for Kopak. He has the most against the Newport Gulls this season with 5.
This now brings up a hot bat in Anthony D'Onofrio, and there's a reason why he's hitting cleanup today for the Schooners. And now you have a runner on third here as well. You don't want to leave a runner stranded, especially when you're just 90 feet away from home.
He's met with 92 from Kevin Sider, the hero for the Mystic Schooners in Game 1 of Sunday's doubleheader. That fastball misses down low. What a game it was. No score through 7. In a 7-inning game, it went to de facto extra innings. Newport took the lead thanks to a Sam Colasingham single, and the Mystic Schooners walked it off, stealing a run, and then D'Onofrio with the game-winning single in the 8th. As that dots the zone on the off-speed, now 1-2, and we talked about the lineup turnover. This is not a guy that was a part of the team in that first matchup between the two.
He came in middle of June and really has been a really nice shock to this Schooners lineup that sometimes was a little downplaying what they could do at the plate.
Swing and a miss, got him, strike 3. So the hit by pitch amounts to nothing. Kevin Sider works out of it, and that ERA keeps on going down. Newport gets its first at bats when we come back on the NECBL Network.
For the first time in league history, the 2022 New England League All-Star Game is headed to Martha's Vineyard, home of the Sharks. On Sunday, July 24th, join the NECBL's best as they ferry over to the island and enter the Shark Tank in front of scouts from every MLB organization. Visit asg22.necbl.com for more information. And don't forget to make your ferry reservation at steamshipauthority.com. Fans, the NECBL's broadcast network brings all of the action right to your home every night. Available on your desktop, laptop, mobile device, as well as your Apple TV, Roku, Amazon Fire TV, or Android TV device. Enjoy single-day passes for just $8, purchase a weekly subscription for $20, a monthly pass for $40, or an all-season pass for $80. Head to watch.necbl.com for more information and for a full streaming schedule. Franklin Sports is proud to be the official batting glove of the New England League. This summer, the NECBL and its 14 organizations join over 200 major leaguers by wearing custom Franklin batting gloves as members of the Franklin family. To design your own custom pair of batting gloves, visit franklinsports.com and join the fam. Franklin is the official batting glove of the New England League.
Back at Cardines, Newport gets its first at-bats of the night. Let's give you the Newport Gulls starting lineup. That'll be facing Matt Noonan on the mound, Trent Farquhar, Alec Makarevich, Colton Ledbetter, the Newport second baseman, right fielder, and center fielder. Then it's Sam Colasingham, the first baseman. He does the cleanup hitting. Slade Alford hits 5th out of the DH. Josh Krodegrauer 6th, playing shortstop. Colton Freeman gets his first start in a Newport Gulls uniform, hitting 7th and playing left. Luke Beckstein hits 8th and plays 3rd, while Jake Burley rounds out the order, hitting 9th and doing the catching. Farquhar looks at 78 from the Boston College lefty. out of Egg Harbor, New Jersey, Matt Noonan. As that's shot into left field, but right at the left fielder. And an easy play there for out number 1 as Ferrer makes the catch.
Yeah, Ferrer is able just to go 2 steps over to his left side, able to make a clean grab on that one. Great job by Farquhar, though, getting out of the box to try and have the potential to maybe push 2 if anything was to happen.
Brings in a guy that has a hit in every game he's played here with the Newport Gulls, Alec Makarevich. Greeted with a first pitch strike. The East Carolina Pirate, an 8-game hitting streak coming into this one.
A Pirate against the Schooners, that could be dangerous, Zach.
There's a strike to Amac, and quickly 0-2.
Be careful, ladies and gentlemen. That is the last thing you want to see.
Noonan working quickly. That fastball misses upstairs. A guy in Matt Noonan, 3 games. This is his 3rd start. And he's pitched 8 2/3 innings, 5 runs, all of them earned, 9 strikeouts to 3 walks over that stretch.
Yeah, really has been settled into that starting rotation. Was started out as a relief pitcher against Danbury when they played him on June the 11th, and then against North Shore in that big 11-inning win, and then settled in as a starting pitcher against Valley back on the 3-game homestand last week, and now whatever Coach Orby saw in him now finds himself in the starting rotation here for Mystic.
Makarevich staying alive, now awaiting a 1-2 pitch here from Noonan. Up tight on the fastball, and now 2-2. Talked about late additions. That's what Makarevich was for this Newport team. He was playing in the Super Regionals with ECU against Texas. Flies that out of play. Had a major moment. Game 2 of that Super Regional, a home run in the 8th inning that, well, they call it the jungle down there at ECU, sent them into a frenzy. I talked to Makarevich about it. He said, just thinking about the jungle, it gives him chills with that environment down there. As Makarevich hits it foul.
And as a baseball player, that's what you want to have. You want to have chills when you go and think about your big hit at your home stadium. That is always what you always want to have, especially in recruiting purposes. Just really can show it off, saying that this is our home stadium. We bring the energy day in and day out.
Stays alive again, fouling away the 2-2 pitch. No score here early. Thanks for joining us wherever you may be watching or listening. And we're so pleased to have those who are joining us from the clubhouse, formerly known as Mudville Pub, and great crowd on hand, and certainly plenty more watching. We are real gracious for everyone's support.
It's a beautiful place over there, Zach.
Yes, it is.
We're lucky enough to have our
first
preseason meeting over there, and what a spot.
Well, state of the art, I would say. It's really nice looking, new, and
well done.
A great place to watch a game. Swing and a miss. He got him strike 3. Matt Noonan going to the high cheese. 91 on the gun, and there's out number 2.
Right up where Grandma keeps the good stuff, Zach. Top shelf.
And that's exactly what you need to do there in that situation when you have Makarevich, who's a powerful hitter. You want to try and put it exactly where no one can keep it, where no one can essentially get it, where Grandma keeps it. I think it's a smart move there by Noonan to go upstairs on that one on a tough hitter like Makarevich.
A little harder to blow the fastball by Colton Ledbetter, guy that has been on a tear since joining this Newport team this summer, and he looks at ball 1. Team leader in, well, just about everything. Batting average, home runs, RBIs, even walks.
And Ledbetter's 4th in the NECBL in home runs with 4 on the year.
Had a stretch of 3 games in a row here at home with a long ball. Did not have one on Friday, but, well, it was all right because 3 other Newport Gulls did, and Newport scored 14 runs in an 8-run win over the Swamp Bats. Watch out. That pitch upstairs from Noonan. And now make it a 1-1 count.
And, Zach, with the stats you listed off, I think it's safe to say that this guy's pretty good at baseball. I'm going to go out on a limb here and make that official statement. The official decree. Colton Ledbetter, good at baseball.
A well-deserved transfer move over to Mississippi State. Fooled that time. little bit of off speed. It looked like Newton took a little bit off it, and 79 miles an hour. That's a 2-2 count to the Newport center fielder. Outside and a full count. He has appeared in all 3 games against the Mystic Schooners. 2 for 9 in those games so far. Stays alive. Fouling off the payoff pitch. Mentioned that he'll be attending Mississippi State. That comes after a monstrous year over at Samford. 16 home runs, 57 RBIs, a 640 slug, an OPS over 1,000. Has brought all that talent up here to Newport and earns his team-leading 13th walk this season. That keeps the inning alive.
You're going to see Newport here. That's some great eye from Ledbetter here, especially sometimes when you're down, when you have 2 outs already in the bank, you want to start swinging at something to try and work something happen, to make something happen. However, Ledbetter, because of his experience and really like we talked about, earning why he will be transferring to Mississippi State, really works a walk here and now puts a runner on here for your cleanup hitter in Samuel Colasingham, who's really one of the hottest guys right now in the NECBL.
Now his best game this season came right here against the Mystic Schooners, game number 1 here at home for Newport. And he fouls it back. 2 home runs in that game, 1 in his first at-bat and then 1 coming later in the game. He's looking for his first home run since that night, but he's certainly made up for it with his other offensive statistics, a .318 average in 15 games played with the Gulls. 2 homers, those coming that night, to go with 10 RBIs.
And you also have to add on to how strong a defensive player he is contributing to the Gulls team.
Looks at that pitch down low. Yeah, kind of become a mainstay for Newport over at first. Gulls are in good shape. You got Colasingham. You can also go to Noah Martinez now that he is back and healthy. It's an offense with a lot of depth, that's for sure. Another pitch that tails inside to Sammy K. Now make it a 2-1 count. Mentioned those 2 home runs he had against the Mystic Schooners on the season. 4 for 9 across the 2 games that he's played against the Schoon squad. It's another pitch down low, now 3-1. Ledbetter taken off late, and DeJean just has to eat it. Heads up base running from Colton Ledbetter. Newport all of a sudden now with a runner in scoring position.
Yeah, great job by Ledbetter. Seeing that it gets away from John, has a hesitation to ensure that he doesn't get caught stealing. However, Ledbetter, once he finds out that it bounced too far out of reach for DeJean to really do anything to get it over there in time, DeJean's forced to eat it, and Ledbetter's already over there at second.
3-1, shot down the left field line, foul, so now a full count. Now all of a sudden it really could just take a single to drive him in. Colasingham with 10 RBIs this season. That is fourth on the Gulls this year. Mentioned that .318 average, 21 hits. That tied for the lead with Josh Kuroda-Grauer. And, well, talk plenty about Ledbetter at Samford. You could talk about that and then some with Sam Colasingham in the year that he had at the Air Force Academy. The Mountain West Conference Player of the Year. And a big spot here, 2 down. In the bottom of the first, no score, but Newport threatening. Colasingham drives it down the left field line, tailing foul again. And we'll do it again. What an at-bat this is from the Newport cleanup hitter.
Yeah, nice quality AB here. And against Cardines Field, that left field foul territory isn't necessarily going to be your friend because there's not much room over there. Really isn't much room on either foul territories here at Cardines Field due to that very old nature of this historic ballpark.
Awaiting the 7th pitch of this at-bat from Matt Noonan. Lefty deals. Upstairs, ball 4. What an at-bat from Sam Colasingham. And the Gulls have back-to-back walks to keep this inning going.
Yeah, great job by Colasingham really to work the walk and work around and not go chasing in some tough positions where Noonan was trying to get him to chase. held and was disciplined at the plate, and now that's going to bring out Dennis Long, the pitching coach for Mystic, here to talk about Noonan here. And a tough start right now when you get 2 base runners on after retiring the first 2 in the Gulls lineup.
This is where it can get real dangerous. Newport with Slade Alford in its last home game in his first at bat had the longest home run Newport has had this season, 400 feet, 100 miles per hour off the bat. And I bring that up now, not just because it's early in the game, but because if you're struggling to throw strikes and you maybe leave one out over the middle, Slade Alford's someone that could certainly make you pay for that.
And there's a reason why he's in the designated hitter spot today for the Gulls.
2 on here with 2 out. He has 3 home runs this summer, hitting in the Newport 5-hole. And treated with a breaking ball, in for a strike from Noonan.
And our talk earlier about Ledbetter heading on down to Mississippi State, up at the plate right now, his future Mississippi State teammate, Slade Alford.
Trying holding his swing. It is a called strike, says Matt Gattain. Plenty of love down there in Starkville for both Alford and Ledbetter with the successful summers they have had to this point. 7 home runs, 24 RBIs between the 2. Ledbetter dancing over at second, and that causes Noonan to take a little bit of a pause out there. Saw it on Friday where he danced in between second and third so much that he stole it easily as Alford with a swing and a drive deep down the right field line, but tailing out of play. That's the kind of power that he possesses.
That might have hit a window.
88 miles per hour off of his bat. Or it looked like not even his most aggressive swing on a foul ball.
Deceptive power, they call it. I think that's what the kids have named it.
His home run back on Friday was to left field, into the trees near the playgrounds, clearing it easily. The fence, that is. Shoots it back up the middle, charging in Jakonski. He'll take it to the bag himself, and just in time before Kulisingham can slide in. So the Gulls with a couple of walks, but Matt Noonan strands 2, working out of trouble. No score here at Cardines as we head to the second on the NECBL Network.
The Newport Gulls Broadcast Network features 7 high-definition cameras, graphics, instant replay, and extended pregame and postgame coverage. Watch the Gulls all season long every Friday night on Your View New England. Be sure to follow the Gulls all season long on our social media accounts at Newport Gulls on Twitter and Instagram, and Facebook.com/Newport Gulls, and subscribe on YouTube.com/Newport Gulls for the latest video highlights and exclusive interviews. The chase for the Fay Vincent Senior Cup begins on Monday, August 1st, when the 2022 New England League playoffs begin. 6 teams will qualify this year, each of the 3 division winners and then the 3 teams with the highest winning percentages. The top 2 teams will receive a first-round bye, while the other 4 teams open things up with a single elimination wildcard round. The winning teams will advance to the best-of-3 series for the Final 4, and then the last 2 teams standing will match up in the best-of-3 NECBL Championship Series to compete for the league title and the right to hoist the Fay Vincent Senior Cup. We'll see you in August for the start of the 2022 postseason.
We head to the second here at Cardines Field. No score between the Gulls and the Schooners. Zach Letson, Jacob Irons, Shane Briggs with you. And it is 5, 6, and 7 in the Mystic order. Logan Allen, Charlie Pagliarini, and Tristan McAllister to face Kevin Sider out there on the bump.
And Allen, who's getting his first start since Thursday after taking a 92-mile-an-hour fastball to the helmet. And it wasn't the concussion that sidelined him. He didn't get a concussion. It was rather the helmet ricocheting down and cutting him, needing stitches, getting them pulled out yesterday. He now returns.
And pokes it over to Trent Farquhar. An easy play over at first. 2 pitches and 1 out for Sider here in the second.
Yeah, Sider just showing his efficiency, minus that 1 hit by pitch in the top of the first. He's been efficient, working Joe Jackowski to a ground out, then Kopak to a ground out, striking out D'Onofrio, and then continuing the ground outs here with Allen as he's working some soft ground balls here against this Mystic lineup.
Brings in Charlie Pagliarini, the lefty. And he looks at strike 1. Yeah, you mentioned it. 3 of the 4 out so far in this game. Ground ball staying on the infield. The other was a strikeout. For Kevin Sider, he is just 16 pitches into this game. And the shortstop quickly behind 0-2.
Sider's been able to work efficiently and get the Mystic bats to chase on pitches that necessarily might not be strikes. However, he's placing them perfectly to get the bats around.
Swings and drives it back to the netting. So we'll do it again. And we talked about it a little bit before the game, but it was a game-changing play that he had. A go-ahead grand slam for Mystic. Down 3 at the time in the 7th inning to put them up 1. The last time the Schoon squad was here at Cardines Fields. A little bit of chin music there, and on the 0-2, make it now a 1-2 count. Pagliarini out of Fairfield University and Trumbull, Connecticut, staying in his home state to play summer baseball with Mystic. Fastball in there, strike 3, ring him up. Punch out number 2 for Kevin Sider, and he's in a groove.
Yeah, now you have 2 strikeouts on the day for Sider, and coming out here and working efficiently. And now you're going to go up against Tristan McAllister, and a tough bat here and a speedy bat. You don't want to get McAllister on if you're Sider, because his ability to work around the base paths can definitely hurt any team.
Greeted with a first pitch strike. That's a big reason why right there. He's been in such a command and working with confidence, able to get out ahead of hitters quickly. And after the fouled bunt, now ahead 0-2 of the Mount St. Mary's product, Tristan McAllister.
Allen, a high fly bunt clearing out of Cardines Field.
You don't see that every day, do you?
No, just a little too slow to get it down in front of it, resulting in the pop fly.
Quickly behind 0-2, here it comes. Got him. 3 pitches, that's all it takes to get McAllister down on strikes. 2 punch-outs for Sider in the inning, make it 3 on the night, and he's through the second in a hurry. No score. We go to the bottom of the second here at Cardines.
The chase for the Fay Vincent Senior Cup begins on Monday, August 1st, when the 2022 New England League playoffs begin. 6 teams will qualify this year, each of the 3 division winners and then the 3 teams with the highest winning percentages. The top 2 teams will receive a first-round bye, while the other 4 teams open things up with a single elimination wildcard round. The winning teams will advance to the best-of-3 series for the Final 4, and then the last 2 teams standing will match up in the best-of-3 NECBL Championship Series to compete for the league title and the right to hoist the Fay Vincent Senior Cup. We'll see you in August for the start of the 2022 postseason. Whether you're an island resident or just visiting, the fastest way to get to the Cape and Islands is by taking the New England League's preferred partner, the Steamship Authority Ferry. Visit steamshipauthority.com for more information.
Josh Kuroda-Grauer, Colton Freeman, and Luke Beckstein up for the Newport Gulls. In the bottom half of the second, no score. We're glad you're with us here on the NECBL Network. Zach Letson, Jacob Irons, Shane Briggs with you. Matchup number 4 between the Schooners and the Gulls. 6, 7, and 8 up in the Newport order. Kuroda Grauer looks at a first pitch fastball upstairs. A crowd that has really filled out here since pregame festivities began. Now 7:10 Eastern time here in the City by the Sea. And JKG out ahead quickly, 2-0.
What better way would you want to spend your day than at a baseball park right now on a beautiful day? Have the little nips and maybe a little sweatshirt for you. However, it's a great day to be out watching a game between some of the best D1 players out there.
Some of the best D3 players, too.
Yes.
As the Gulls, Dominic Parachi was one of 9 pitchers named to be the best pitchers in the entirety of D3.
It's quite the honor for a guy that now sits in the transfer portal, but had a year to remember with Salve Regina right down the road from here we are at Guardians Field. Maybe a 10-minute drive.
Such a humble guy, too. We've gotten a chance to catch up with Dom a couple times, and every time he's just so grateful, so happy to be here. Such a nice guy.
Definitely wish him the best, and congratulations on that award. JKG reaching on 4 pitches, and Colton Freeman, the Newport batter, looks at ball number 1. Make it now 5 balls in a row for Matt Noonan to open up this second.
As Noonan here, his command slipping here a little bit, as we saw, as Ledbetter and Colasingham both worked walks back in the first. Now opening the second with a walk here. Noonan has to be careful. However, like you talked about, Zach, you don't want to leave one over the plate, especially in Guardians Field, which is a hitter's ballpark.
8 home runs this season for Freeman with the Dartmouth Big Green. And really, you talk about personalities. This guy, one of the more vibrant personalities on the team, and I have to say, just I think a sense of excitement from all of us up here in the booth that he's finally recovered from. He was dealing with a foot injury and is back in the lineup tonight. Diving back into first, Kuroda Grauer, as DeJean gave him a check. But dealing with that injury, he played for the first time on Saturday in a pinch hit appearance against Martha's Vineyard, and now has earned a spot in the starting lineup for the first time this summer.
And yeah, a little bit of mustard on that one from DeJean. But back to Freeman, a guy that you're one of the guys that I'm happiest to see out here. A guy that has been, since we've been here, one of the biggest personality, or actually no, one step up, the biggest personality on this team. Every game in the dugout was one of the most animated people. Always just happy to see him, happy to be here.
They got Kuroda Grauer as Noonan with the check-in over on first, and they caught him in between. Got his heads up by the lefty. That's what can happen with a lefty out there on the mound. He can deceive you a little bit, make you think he's going home. Kuroda Grauer got caught leading the wrong way.
And that's why a southpaw is so vital to have in your rotation, so that you can try and prevent some of that running, especially if you work into these jams.
Freeman with a ground ball, booted by the third baseman Paglarini. So in his first at bat at Guardians Field, Colton Freeman's going to reach.
Now reached on an error there as Paglarini just couldn't corral it there. Almost looks like it bounced off the webbing of his glove. A great job, though, by Paglarini to stay and follow through on the action. To not let that ball drift away and just give up on it. Understand that it's still a live ball until somebody makes a play on it or time is called.
Is that Miles Teller up there at the plate?
It is Luke Beckstein.
Oh,
maybe a Miles Teller look-alike. Yeah?
Sorry, the mustache and the new haircut got me confused. Looking sharp, though.
Swinging first pitch, fouls it back out of play. I talked about it. It's a different look. Had the long hair, and now going to the mustache and the shortened cut back into this Newport order.
Showed up looking sharp here at Newport with the had the long hair and the full beard going on, and then showed up beginning of this week, and he must have seen Top Gun over the weekend or something. That must be what did it.
Swings and misses at the 85-mile-an-hour pitch from Noonan, who has began to find that zone again after struggling a little bit to Kuroda Grauer and Freeman. He'd love a double play ball right here. And Beckstein shoots it the other way, foul, and right near that clubhouse. A lot of folks watching tonight's game may have heard that pitch smacking off of the window up there. And fortunately, nothing looks broken.
Well, Zach, like we said, nothing but nice things about the interior decorators over there, and hopefully they have a guy just as good doing the exterior decorating, because that was almost not very pretty for them.
Bechstein on the ground, Pagliarini fields, and this time able to get the out at first. Nice play across the diamond. Freeman over to second, now with 2 gone.
Nice job by Pagliarini there, understanding he doesn't force it over to second to Jakonski or Allen, understanding that you don't have to force the double play there, and just going straight over to Kopak at first is a very veteran play, and that's why Pagliarini enters his second season with the Schooners and understands what Phil Orby and company might want in that situation, now putting 2 away, leaving a runner in scoring position though.
Not the easiest guy to get out either with the speed Bechstein has. A productive out nonetheless as Freeman over to second for Newport's catcher Jake Burley.
A guy that you've dubbed Big Bat Burl, so I'm excited to see how he does here with a runner in scoring position, Zach.
Well, I got the inspiration actually from Burley, his Instagram tag being J Burls.
A self-coined nickname that worked out well. Who would have thunk it?
Little inspiration. That's all you need sometimes.
Those are hard to come by.
Burley looks at a ball outside now, 1-1. Plays his college ball right here in the state of Rhode Island at Brown University, but had to come across the country to do so, a California native. Foul tipped into the mid, 90 miles per hour from Noonan, now 1-2.
After Noonan working that walk to Ledbetter and Cole Singham and then Crota Grau to open this, he's somewhat come into his own now, feeling a little more confidence, it appears, on the mound and working with his stuff.
Has let 2 separate Newport Gulls reach, looking to work out of it right here. Burley stays alive. That fastball came in tight, and he still found a way to get the barrel on it and fight it off.
That's a great protection play there from Burley, understanding that that ball had major movement on it, coming from the outside of the corner all the way working back to the inside, and he's able to get a little bit on it, and that's why he is the Big Bad Burley.
Freeman over on second. He reached on an error. Newport looking to open the scoring here tonight. That's down low. Dijon loses it for a moment, but doesn't go far enough for Freeman to advance. Now Deuce is running wild. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs here in the second.
Yeah, great job by Dijon there to take the mask off quickly and able to keep himself in front of it, keeping an eye on Freeman to ensure he doesn't move any closer.
And another pitch that he fights off, stays alive. We talked about Crota Grauer with a great at-bat. Ledbetter and Kulasingham with great at-bats in the first. This is what Newport's generated. It has resulted in 3 walks. 4 guys that have reached tonight. None via a hit. Newport's still looking for its first hit here tonight.
And really, it speaks to Newport's ability to take whatever the pitcher is giving them. That's what we've seen in those past 3 other meetings, is they really don't try and force anything, and they really just allow whatever the pitcher is giving him. And right now, Noonan was giving him walks, so they've worked that really well.
And he pops up Burley on the 2-2, ranging in Ferrer, and he makes the catch to retire the side. Noonan works out of some more trouble. Here in the bottom of the second, Freeman is stranded, and we head to the third. No score here at Cardines between the Gulls and the Schooners.
For the first time in league history, the 2022 New England League All-Star Game is headed to Martha's Vineyard, home of the Sharks. On Sunday, July 24th, join the NECBL's best as they ferry over to the island and enter the Shark Tank in front of scouts from every MLB organization. Visit asg22.necbl.com for more information. And don't forget to make your ferry reservation at steamshipauthority.com. Fans, the NECBL's broadcast network brings all of the action right to your home every night. Available on your desktop, laptop, mobile device, as well as your Apple TV, Roku, Amazon Fire TV, or Android TV device. Enjoy single-day passes for just $8, purchase a weekly subscription for $20, a monthly pass for $40, or an all-season pass for $80. Head to watch.necbl.com for more information and for a full streaming schedule.
To the third we go, neither side with a run to this point. The matchup number 4 between these two squads. Zach Letson, Jacob Irons, Shane Briggs along for the ride with you. And if the previous 3 games were any indication, we are in for a treat. 3 one-run games, 2 of them won by Newport, 1 by Mystic. And here we are in a scoreless tie heading to the third.
Really, that should be a shocker here that it's scoreless after the past 2 meetings, and where runs were really, you had to pay everything for him late in that game here. And now you're going to bring up Troy McGirt, a big hitter here, finds himself in the designated hitter role today.
8-9-1 for the Schoon squad on their half of the third, and McGirt holds back on that swing on the pitch inside. And that DH role tonight for Phil Orby's team. Listed as a first baseman out of Wake Forest. Has that Demon Deacons helmet. And this summer is his first time facing collegiate opposition.
Yes.
He did not play this season in Winston-Salem. Instead redshirted, but came in with plenty of praise into his arrival with the Deeks. And he sends that a mile high and deep to left, but tailing over to America's Cup Avenue. I talk about the praise. It's because he was the #1 ranked first baseman in the entire state of North Carolina and the 2021 recruiting class.
And that's not a cupcake state either. There's
No, it's
some
not.
great ball players down there. And really, McGirt put together a great fall, which allowed him to come here. When I talked to him, he's like, my fall, I had a stupendous fall, and then really just breaking through, tried to break through but couldn't. And now he's going to move over to Elon, coming to play in the CAA.
Fastball's in there, strike 3, ring him up. 3 strikeouts in a row for Kevin Sider, 4 on the night. He is untouchable.
Well, Zach, I'm no alphabetician, but I think I'm good enough with letters to confirm that Kevin cannot be spelled without a K.
You would be correct.
Kevin Sider, ladies and gentlemen.
Only 1 in his name, 3 if you're scoring the game to the last 3 Schooners hitters. And here's the 9-hitter Jackson DeJean looking to not become the 4th in a row. Catcher looks at ball 1 on the breaking ball.
DeJean, whenever he's been in the lineup doing the catching duties, normally you'll find himself in the 9-hole, a reliable 9-hole guy for the Schooners when he finds himself in the lineup.
Got the nod in the 9 spot at the catcher position in game 1 of Sunday's wacky doubleheader. I think that's the only word I can use to describe what it was. Drives the 1-1 out of play over the heads of the Gulls fans onto West Marlborough Street. That was the only, actually he has played in 2 games against the Newport Gulls, 0 for 2. One of a couple different Schooners catchers. Addison Kopak has also played behind the dish against the Gulls.
Yeah, and then you also have Eddie Micheletti coming in on one of those late additions from GW. Really, especially when there's so many games in so many days, you have to rotate your catchers because that takes a lot on your knees to be in that crouching position for an extended period of time, especially in maybe triple days back-to-back.
It's another strikeout for Kevin Sider. That man is on fire. 4 Ks in a row, now 5 on the night.
Yeah, Sider coming in here and just really dealing and picking up where we left off last time in a pitcher's duel, especially when you talk about McGuire and Parachi, who really put together some great starting outings for the Gulls when we last saw each other on Sunday.
Top of the order now, and Kevin Ferrer swinging first pitch and shot back down near that clubhouse. Maybe a souvenir for someone watching the game down there. Ferrer hit by a pitch to lead off the game. Since 8 batters in a row retired by Kevin Sider. And a big cut on and miss. He's quickly behind 0-2.
And that's the definition of a battle back here from a pitcher, opening the game in a rocky form about hitting the first pitch. Mind you, it wasn't the first batter alone. It was the first pitch of the game, and then has since came back and worked this Mystic Schooner lineup to not really have any hard hit balls so far today.
Dare I say, righting the ship.
Well, that's what Mystic's trying to do. They're trying to right the ship by getting someone on base. Outside of one pitch that slipped out of Sider's hand, no Schooners have reached base. Just misses on the fastball, nearly a 5th strikeout in a row. This is the key right here, getting out ahead of hitters. Now a 1-2 count, and you're talking about 25 strikes to just 11 balls from the Quinnipiac righty. High drive deep into left field. Freeman back and has room, makes the catch to retire the side. It's clockwork right now for Kevin Sider. Another 1-2-3 inning. Now his 2nd in a row. Schooners still without a hit, and it's no score at Cardines Field, heading to the bottom of the 3rd.
Zephyr is the official on-field cap of the NECBL. Also known as the Z-Hats, Zephyr is the authentic college hat with a loyal following of those who only wear the Z. Zephyr makes hats for over 800 colleges and channels that same energy and creativity into building custom hats of all types for pro sports teams, clothing brands, and companies everywhere. Make sure you pick up your Newport Gulls official on-field cap today.
The law firm of Haller & Sage is proud to partner with the Newport Gulls for a season-long and, dare I say, epic battle for the Haller & Sage Cup. The Newport Gulls, the Mystic Schooners, the Bristol Blues, the Danbury Westerners, and the Valley Blue Sox are all in contention for the title. Haller & Sage is proud to support the NECBL teams and the Aquidneck Island community. We wish the players a successful, competitive, healthy, enjoyable season. And to the fans, enjoy the game.
Newport looking to break a scoreless tie. 0-0 the score. As we go to the bottom of the 3rd, the top of the Newport order up. Back here on the NECBL Network, Zach Letson, Jacob Irons, and Shane Briggs with you for game number 4 of 6 between these two rivals. About an hour only separating the two. It is Newport's 2nd closest drive behind one you could probably figure, the Ocean State Waves. Trent Farquhar out quickly ahead now, 2-0.
All hail to Lord Farquhar, Zach. Now, speaking of that short drive, Jacob, how is Mystic this time of year?
It is a beautiful time of year as we've got, right as we start to pick up, got some beautiful weather down in Mystic, up in Dodd at Norwich as well. Has that July 4th buzz. I can't even believe we're at July 4th already, but we have that buzz in the air.
Yeah, where did June go?
Coming up on Monday, and well, we hope you can join us for some baseball. It will be Gulls and the North Shore Navigators for the first time in over a decade here at Cardines Field. It'll be one for the books.
Hoping for some fireworks, Zach.
It's ball 4 to number 4. Trent Farquhar, he reaches with Newport's 4th walk already tonight.
And like I've talked about, that's the beauty of the Newport Gulls batters, is they're not trying to force anything. Sometimes when you get down in those counts 3-0, you see that one pitch, although the stop sign's on, you're like, okay, I'm going to go swing at this one. I really like it. However, they're holding true and staying disciplined at the plate, which has allowed them to get base runners on. However, they're just missing that one little oomph to get them across.
Great piece of advice a coach once gave me was they don't ask how, they ask how many.
Right now, Newport with 4 walks, still looking for its first hit here tonight, as are both teams. There's not been a hit through 2+ innings of play at Cardines.
Once again, a pitcher's duel brewing between these two Coastal Division rivals.
Newport team that likes playing at Cardines, a .292 team average through the first 7 games. Kind of a roller coaster in each of those games. 7 games, most of them tight. Newport has won 4 of them. 4-3 at home, 5-5 away from home. That checks out to a 9-8 overall record. Makarevich with a check swing that shoots off of his bat and up to the netting. A guy trying to extend his hitting streak to 9 games. Struck out in the first. This is his 2nd at bat here tonight. A hit here would be the first either team has had here on tonight. A beautiful Wednesday for baseball. Low 70s and a nice ocean breeze. 0-2 is shot foul and stopped by Gulls manager Frank Holbrook as Farquhar retreats back to first.
As now if you're Noonan here attacking Makarevich, maybe trying, like we saw Makarevich go with the high, go down swing at the high cheddar here. Maybe if you're Noonan, go try and work that again here because you saw he was susceptible to that when he's got 2 strikes on him.
A .321 average in his first 8 games this summer. But looks at strike 3 there. Matt Gattain rings him up. That is a big bounce back for Noonan, now 1 away.
Yeah, huge bounce back for Noonan as his last strikeout was coming up against Makarevich back in the first, and after a little bit of some turbulent start has somewhat settled in here now. Now trying to work on Colton Ledbetter.
Walked his first time up. He was stranded at second base for the Gulls. Got the first of 4 walks. Colton Ledbetter, Sam Kulasingam, Josh Kuroda-Grauer, and the man standing over there at first, Trent Farquhar. Walks now in each of the 3 innings for the Gulls. Looking still for that first base knock. Ledbetter with a big swing and could not stay with the off speed. Now 0-1. Now over 60 pitches into this outing for Noonan. Hasn't had maybe quite the command that he's wanted, but has still done his job at the end of the day. No hits and no runs on the board for the Gulls. As that fastball misses upstairs. Now a 1-1 count.
And Noonan's been able to work with his strong defense as Mystic leads the NECBL in fielding percentage at .976 on the year and has committed the fewest errors around at 12. So really, if you're a pitcher, just try and put it in the zone and allow your defense, which has been stellar all year long, to work for you, and it's helped, and that's what you've seen here today. Not many strikeouts, however. Getting outs is just by small ground outs and fly balls, and that's what Noonan's been able to work out of these Gulls batters.
And you saw the slider right there. That is the pitch that Noonan goes to second most, and it fooled Ledbetter, 78 miles an hour. Lefty ready with a 1-2. Swing and a miss, he got him. Fastball down low, and Matt Noonan with back-to-back strikeouts after the leadoff walk.
And that's what you like to see here for Noonan, a guy that started off a little turbulent, has now somewhat settled in with back-to-back strikeouts against Colton Ledbetter, which is a batter that you really have to circle in that lineup if you're Mystic, going up against Ledbetter, who's been really potent for the Gulls so far. And now you also have Kulasingam that you can't really count out as well.
Sammy Kay looking to keep the inning alive. He swings and misses at 1 in the dirt. Went back to that same spot. Did Noonan. Mentioned a pitcher over in the ACC with the Boston College Eagles. A Futures League member a season ago out in Worcester, Massachusetts. That's shot by Kulasingam the other way. Right in the wheelhouse of the clubhouse. Quickly 0-2 to the Air Force first baseman. Walked his first time up, but the Gulls stranded 2 in the first and 1 more in the second. And if Noonan can get 1 more out, we'll have stranded possibly another here in the third. Kulasingam hoping that not the case. 0-2. Outside, now 1-2 to the cleanup man. Talked about Worcester. He pitched with the Worcester Bravehearts and had a darn good summer in 14 innings pitched. Maybe not the biggest sample size, but a 1.29 ERA, 19 strikeouts.
However, like we talked about, Zach, you still have to go out onto the bump and still produce. Although it might not be the large amounts, it still has to be taken for what it is. 14 innings is still over a game, so you have to take it for what it is, and he's showing you that consistently he can bring it.
Another check-in over on Farquhar for the lefty. And if you're wondering, 2 stolen bags on the year for Farquhar in 15 games played. With a healthy lead over there, 2 away here in the third. Kulasingam with a shot the other way. That gets through for a base hit. Hit number 1 of the night for either team. And it shouldn't be a shock. It's the Newport Gulls hit leader with his 22nd base knock of the season. And Newport now in business.
Yeah, Colasingham seeing the gap between Paglarini and Allen over on the left side of the infield and able to work it through in that gap. Allen trying to make a dive out for it there, just too far out of his reach, and now that puts a runner in scoring position for the Gulls here, who have tried to work some two-out magic all night long.
Stranded 2 in the first, another in the second. Now here's an opportunity for Slade Alford. Had a near identical opportunity in his first time up and grounded out 4 unassisted to Jakonski. He swings first pitch, sends it out to right field. Ranging over with plenty of room and making the catch is McAllister. So again, Newton with some trouble, but averts crisis. No score, a pitcher's duel here at Cardines Field as we head to the 4th.
Franklin Sports is proud to be the official batting glove of the New England League. This summer, the NECBL and its 14 organizations join over 200 major leaguers by wearing custom Franklin batting gloves as members of the Franklin family. To design your own custom pair of batting gloves, visit franklinsports.com and join the fam. Franklin is the official batting glove of the New England League. The Newport Gulls Broadcast Network features 7 high-definition cameras, graphics, instant replay, and extended pregame and postgame coverage. Watch the Gulls all season long every Friday night on YourView New England. Be sure to follow the Gulls all season long on our social media accounts at Newport Gulls on Twitter and Instagram, and Facebook.com/Newport Gulls, and subscribe on YouTube.com/Newport Gulls for the latest video highlights and exclusive interviews.
Welcome back to Cardines Field. We're scoreless through 3 here. Jacob Iron, Zach Letson, Shane Briggs with you as we're able to settle in here. Joe Jakonski will lead things off here in the 4th. Jakonski out of UNC Chapel Hill. We'll look at a pitch there for a strike.
Yeah, who's going to be able to be the one that breaks Kevin Seiner, right? I mean, this is a guy that has not allowed a base runner since the first guy of the game in Ferrer, and that was just on a mistake on a hit by pitch.
It really was, as Sider deals there. Finding the zone again, now going to be 0-2 here on Jakonski. Jakonski asking the home plate umpire for location there. Have a better idea. Always, Jakonski, you'll always see him work with the umpire to see where every pitch is, to have a betterment of his zone and have an understanding about the zone he's looking at and where he should hit for as that ball runs away. 1-2 here. Sider deals. Jakonski fouling that one back off into the hardwood.
Now that fastball is really working well so far for Seiner tonight. It is his most comfortable pitch, and Jakonski just able to get a piece there and waste it.
That one, they'll look down for an appeal. Say he did not go around. Jakonski will now have a 2-2 count. Jakonski out of Plymouth Meeting, Pennsylvania. As Sider's been terrific so far. As Jakonski goes down swinging, add that one to another one of Sider's strikeouts as he still stays to be perfect on the mound with the strikeout.
Good luck catching up to that curveball. Are you kidding me? I mean, we talked about how well he's executed that fastball, and Jakonski was sitting fastball there, and then he just gets 81 with a lot of that movement. I mean, it is so tough as a batter to face a guy that is in the groove that this man is in right now.
That's going to bring up Addison Kopak as he'll look at a strike there. And Kopak, not unfamiliar to the Cardines Field, played here in the 2020 Newport League. then was with the Schooners last year, and then finds himself with the Schooners again here in 2022, as he'll look at a pitch that runs away from Sider. Now going to be 1-1. Like we talked about, Kopak in his first at-bat in the 2022 season here at Cardines Field was a long ball that went right over center field. That really started things going in that hitter's duel, an 8-7 win for Newport. Right now, the opposite, really a pitcher's duel with Sider getting Kopak chasing there. Now going to be 1-2.
I can't say I'm surprised by the pitcher's duel nature. Of course, maybe a little different to see that at Cardines Field, a place that has seen plenty of runs, but you're talking about a 2-1 game, then a 3-2 game when these two met up, and it was a 0-0 score through 7 in game 1.
Yeah. Looks to be the same way here right now, with only one hit between the two teams through 3 innings, as Kopak looks at that one in the dirt. That'd be a 2-2 count.
33 strikes, 15 balls. That's command if I've ever seen it, Jacob. And that's the name of the game.
It really is, especially in summer baseball when you have to try and work arms as far as they can go. You can get them out as Sider sets and deals. Kopak goes down chasing. Now that's going to be 2 straight strikeouts for Sider as he continues to be prolific on the mound.
Wow. Gentlemen, I know apple season does not start till the fall, but we are being treated to some fresh cider here on this summer night at Cardines Field.
Kevin Sider pressing everything out of the Schooners batting lineup right now, as Anthony D'Onofrio will look at a strike there, 0-1. And D'Onofrio, like we talked about, was the hero back in game 1, as he'll look at a strike there again with an 0-2 count. As Sider really, you can't.
It's 0-2 before you can blink, Jacob.
It really is. Sider has great movement on the mound and does not waste time, almost working in that minor league pitch clock. That one runs high there, and that's a great throwaway pitch there at a 1-2 high cheddar.
Right.
Trying to see if D'Onofrio chase.
That's the luxury of being out ahead 0-2 is you don't have to attack in the zone. You can try to get someone to chase, and that's what he's doing right now.
Well, 1-2. D'Onofrio goes down swinging. That's 3 strikeouts to start off the 4th for Kevin Sider. Sider is dealing right now in a pitcher's duel. We'll go to the bottom of the 4th right here on the NECBL Broadcast Network.
The chase for the Fay Vincent Senior Cup begins on Monday, August 1st, when the 2022 New England League playoffs begin. 6 teams will qualify this year, each of the 3 division winners and then the 3 teams with the highest winning percentages. The top 2 teams will receive a first-round bye, while the other 4 teams open things up with a single elimination wildcard round. The winning teams will advance to the best-of-3 series for the Final 4, and then the last 2 teams standing will match up in the best-of-3 NECBL Championship Series to compete for the league title and the right to hoist the Fay Vincent Senior Cup. We'll see you in August for the start of the 2022 postseason. Zephyr is the official on-field cap of the NECBL. Also known as the Z-Hats, Zephyr is the authentic college hat with a loyal following of those who only wear the Z. Zephyr makes hats for over 800 colleges and channels that same energy and creativity into building custom hats of all types for pro sports teams, clothing brands, and companies everywhere. Make sure you pick up your Newport Gulls official on-field cap today.
As welcome back to the bottom of the 4th, still scoreless here, only 1 hit between both teams, and that's going to bring up Joshua Kuroda-Grauer, the shortstop here today. As Noonan deals the first pitch, it's going to be 1-0. As that one fouling back there, going to be 1-1.
Yeah, Newport, it's been, of course, neither team has scored a run, but it's kind of been two different stories. Gulls have had opportunities all 3 innings so far.
As Kuroda Grauer chases that one, not going to be 1-2. And really, it's a pitcher's duel. Although Noonan worked a little on the command, had some command issues, but then fired back with 2 strikeouts back in the third, and now has come back into his own as now that count runs 2-2. As Grauer gets a hold of that one will find the gap going in to the weird corner of Cardine Field. Grauer rounding first. That will be a stand-up double for Kuroda Grauer, as now we were hitless going in to the third, and now 2 hits in 2 innings so far without a leadoff double for Grauer.
First extra base hit tonight. This is just a guy so well-rounded as a hitter. You won't find more, I think, well-versed, well-rounded hitters really in the entire NECBL. He just finished his true freshman season. And, Jacob, he's already got 22 hits in 18 games with Newport. That's a pretty good pace right there.
It really is a great pace. As Colton Freeman, the left fielder, will settle into the box with a runner in scoring position here for the Gulls to try and make some magic, as that one will sneak through between Jakonski and Kopak, as Grauer will be held at third, DeJean fielding it, and now runners on the corners in back-to-back hits, as hits seem to be ghosts prior to the third, have now come out in full force with back-to-back.
Yeah, that's got to feel great for Colton Freeman. His first hit as a Newport Gull. The road to recovery is never easy for a player. You go through an injury and, it can be really frustrating. He was patient. He traveled with the team really throughout the season, and a big hit right there to put the Gulls in a great spot for the breakthrough moment here.
As now that pitch will run inside as Beckstein tried to turn on it for a bunt, getting out of the way just in time. Potentially a little small ball being played here for the Gulls, and like we've talked about, we've seen some small ball, especially at Dodd in that doubleheader, due to the confines, as Beckstein will show bunt again. Noonan will check back. However, Freeman will be back there in time. Beckstein looks at that one. Again, now going to be 2-0 with runners on the corners here, potentially putting in movement. Double steal, especially with Kuroda Grauer's speed. At third is bunt shown. That will be popped up. Now run 2-1 here as the message has been staying the same for Beckstein. They want to put down a bunt.
Yeah, it's an interesting call here, bottom of the order. I'm not exactly surprised to see it. A guy in Beck who's got a lot of speed, as we saw his first time up, and it's a tough call. And I think that's why he's having that discussion with Gulls manager Frank Holbrook, because a bunt here ensues that you're looking for maybe a suicide squeeze kind of play, and you're trying to get JKG home from third. That is a gutsy decision to make, Jacob.
Especially this early in the game.
For the first run.
For the first run of the game, as Noonan will step off the bump here.
I guess it could be a safety squeeze, whatever you want to call it, but it has to be executed well to work in this kind of situation, because now Mystic has Pagliarini moving in. Now they're thinking four right here to try to come to the plate on a bunt to try to get Kuroda Grauer.
Noonan on the bump deals. Beckstein for the first time this at-bat does not square around. That ball will run high though, now 3-1. Here with back-to-back hits to lead off the bottom of the fourth for the Gulls. Now places as bunt shown from Beckstein. That will be in there for a strike. Beckstein taking a step down first, thinking that was ball 4, as 89 miles an hour does paint the corner there.
Not according to our TrackMan data.
That one, strike 3. Beckstein goes down looking, barely nicking. That's going to call in a conversation, as Phil Orby
Well, we could tell you the story, but I think those listening can hear Frank Holbrook tell the story. And he's just simply saying to Matt Catane, that's bad. That is a brutal, brutal call in this kind of situation. Got to look at the replay. Oh, man. I mean, that is a really a difficult spot, a difficult call to take if you're the Newport Gulls. I think it's just the best way I can put it, Jacob.
As it looks like Mystic will make a pitching change here as well. We'll take a break and be right back right here on the NECBL network.
Franklin Sports is proud to be the official batting glove of the New England League. This summer, the NECBL and its 14 organizations join over 200 major leaguers by wearing custom Franklin batting gloves as members of the Franklin family. To design your own custom pair of batting gloves, visit franklinsports.com and join the fam. Franklin is the official batting glove of the New England League. The Newport Gulls broadcast network features 7 high-definition cameras, graphics, instant replay, and extended pregame and postgame coverage. Watch the Gulls all season long every Friday night on YourView New England. Be sure to follow the Gulls all season long on our social media accounts at Newport Gulls on Twitter and Instagram, and Facebook.com/Newport Gulls, and subscribe on YouTube.com/Newport Gulls for the latest video highlights and exclusive interviews.
Welcome back to Cardines Field here for a pitching change. Coming into the game is going to be number 38, Brandon White, out of Southern New Hampshire University. He's appeared in 2 games so far, working a 5.4 ERA. Only has pitched 3.1 innings. As that one will find a strike.
Jake Burley's not happy with it. We have a look on our strike zone, and again, we're not stating our opinion, but we're just looking at what our TrackMan data has. That pitch was out, as was the strike 3 pitch to Bexty.
That one will find a strike again. Now going to be 0-2. 87 miles an hour in there in time. Once again, working the outside corner for the strike is White, picking up where Noonan left off. As White has one away here with runners on the corner. That one will be popped up, foul, and out of play over by the Firehouse.
Here's some big calls now, because you're talking about 3-1 to Bechstein with the base, with 2 on and nobody out. Now all of a sudden, Burnley, the 9-hitter, is behind in the count. And if he induces a ground ball here, it could be no score going into the 5th, Jacob.
It really, the power of the call as that one runs inside. Now going to be 1-2. Runners still on the corner. Crota Grauer at third. Freeman at first. Bechstein down with the strikeout looking. Previous to White, who comes in here in relief for Matthew Noonan, who started the game. As that one's kept in front by DeJean. Now going to be a 2-2. White appeared against Upper Valley up in New Hampshire, or up in Vermont, excuse me, working 3 innings pitched in that outing as Burley goes down swinging there. Now going to be 2 away here in the bottom of the 4th. Now between Noonan and White, they've been able to work the K to get 2.
What a turn of events. What a turn of events. Very similar, honestly, to what Newport had last inning. You get a guy on, and then back-to-back punch-outs. Here, the magnitude is even greater.
As Farquhar now up, he'll foul that one off down the first base side. Now we'll run 0-1.
All hail to Lord Farquhar, ladies and gentlemen.
Trent Farquhar, who worked a walk back in the third. As Farquhar gets a hold of that one will be out to center. D'Onofrio there, high off the wall. That will bring in one. As Freeman will round third. The play at the plate. DeJean, they got him at home. A snipe from Anthony D'Onofrio. As they just threw out third base coach, as that's going to be manager.
Yeah, Frank Holbrook just got tossed from this one. That, quite frankly, Jacob, that's a tough call. It really looked like Freeman got his hand in there. The Newport Gulls dugout cannot believe it. And I think it's some justified frustration here. You know, you don't want to make – it's hard for us to say, of course. We'd have to get another look. It was a very close play. But it did really look like, as here we get a
great look here by the Newport Gulls production team.
Wow, I mean, that is just, I think for the Newport Gulls, it's a lot of frustration that's boiled over. You get a really controversial strike 3 call on Beckstein, and then Colton Freeman, as Holbrook's been ejected from this game. I'm kind of speechless right now, Jacob. That was a it was a close play at the plate. It did look like Freeman got his hand in there. Again, that's the job of the umpires, not us. We have a pretty good angle from up here. It was a great dive. He looked like that right hand had snuck in. Newport is still jawing with these umpires, and I think just a shocking outcome for everyone at the park, I think, is just the way that you can put it.
Really, that has to be the way. Through 3 hits, what looked potentially to be to bring in a second run, however, it will run D'Onofrio to Kopak, then to DeJean at home to get that final out. And through Holbrook, giving Giattini a little piece of his mind. We bring you now to the top of the 5th in this crazy and wacky game that is Newport and Mystic here.
Yes. I hope we can get a shot of this. Goalie is now showing his emotion for the well, that's going to get the fans fired up. Goalie and Chris Patsos are having fun. I think every last person here at Newport, quite frankly, cannot believe. Yeah, and it's good that there's some laughs being had, but it's some anger from a lot of people here. And like I said, you don't want to see a coach get run out of the game, but it's inspirational to see him back up his team. And boy, that is a real difficult call, because it sure looked like, from our vantage point, again, from where we're sitting, that Freeman got his hand in and was safe.
And there was a rallying cry from Holbrook on his way out, too. He made sure to get a word into his guys in the dugout, and I definitely think that's going to be something that they can rally around.
And now that will run high, 1-0 to Allen. The shortstop from Bryant, as Allen will rip that one. Coming into it will be Ledbetter. Ledbetter making the catch there for the routine fly out.
We don't have to harp on it too much more, but I think, Frank Holbrook, he defends his team, but he's not going to get that animated. He's not going to get that animated unless it's a call that he really believes was messed up by the umpires. I think that says a lot about that play and a lot about the kind of manager that he is, standing up for his team.
Lost in there is a run by the Gulls, too.
Right.
Freeman would have been the second, but we did get one across. The Gulls were able to get one across.
As that's how we stand here. Newport leading Mystic 1-0. Pagliarini settled into the box for top of 5th action here in the City by the Sea. As Sider's back out, continuing his stellar performance. As Pagliarini will chop out that one. Now going to be 0-2. Pagliarini out of Trumbull, Connecticut, attended St. Joseph's High School, a powerhouse if you're familiar with Connecticut high school sports, really in all sports and all capacities. As Sider steps and deals, that one will spike off the dirt. Now going to be 1-2. To the third baseman. That one coming in at 77 miles an hour there. The deal from Sider. That'll be strike 3. Charlie Pagliarini goes down looking for the second time today, and now 2 away. That's going to bring up Tristan McAllister last time up, struck out, swinging. Kevin Sider continuing his day. That's 9 strikeouts through 5 innings of work. Really an impressive showing. McAllister will look at a strike there.
And again, it's so easy, I think, as a pitcher, when you have not just one but 2 major controversial moments in a game, to let that get into your head. It's not getting in his head at all.
By no means, as Sider's still dealing. That one down low, not going to be 1-1. McAllister, who played in every contest for Mount St. Mary, will look at a strike there, not going to be 1-2. Running a little outside there on an 82-mile-an-hour pitch. That one away is Sider trying to work a little bit of a movement there on a breaking ball. Tristan McAllister out of Fredericksburg, Virginia. McAllister will look at that one down low. Now going to be 3-2. Full count here. 2 away. The deal from Sider. Catches. McAllister swinging. And Sider still is perfect with 10 strikeouts. Sider continuing his stellar day in the office with 10 strikeouts. We'll go to the bottom of the 5th right here on the NECBL Broadcast Network.
Fans, the NECBL's broadcast network brings all of the action right to your home every night. Available on your desktop, laptop, mobile device, as well as your Apple TV, Roku, Amazon Fire TV, or Android TV device. Enjoy single-day passes for just $8, purchase a weekly subscription for $20, a monthly pass for $40, or an all-season pass for $80. Head to watch.necbl.com for more information and for a full streaming schedule.
As we welcome you back, as Makarevich will swing on that one. Now going to go 0-1 as White comes in to continue his outing in relief for Noonan, the starting pitcher. That one will be a high infield pop fly. Pagliarini calling on the left side of the diamond. Pagliarini working to his left side, working to the mound, and Pagliarini will retire a 1 here in 1 pitch.
Yeah, the first call to the bullpen that it is in this game is White. And one is really, still both teams really looking for that breakthrough moment. Newport able to find that first run. But this is the part of the order. You're able to run the starter out of the game. Can they find that breakthrough moment?
And the final day for Noonan, that will be 3.1 innings pitched, allowing 3 hits, 1 run earned, 4 walks, 4 strikeouts on a pretty even walk to strikeout ratio in his outing at 3.1. Now we'll bring up Colton Ledbetter, the center fielder for the Gulls here today. It's the deal from White. Will run into the dirt. 1-1. Ledbetter, like we've touched upon, transferring to Mississippi State, will rip that one right up the middle. He'll have a stand-up single.
What was that, 300 miles an hour off the bat?
104, folks. That might be the hardest ball we've seen all year. Sometimes, Jacob, it just sounds different off the bat.
It really did.
That sounded different. You get a look at this rocket ship to outer space, center field from Colton Ledbetter.
The amount
104.
The amount of pop that man has in his bat.
Yeah.
Cole, tons of power.
I'll bring up Samuel Colasingham, the first baseman out of the United States Air Force Academy.
Our Top Gun here out in Newport.
That one will come in for a strike. However, can you call? I understand Top Gun fighter pilot. However, Top Gun is Navy. Got distinguish those branches.
I appreciate that. I'm sorry. I was trying to be funny, but you're correct. You're absolutely correct. Do not want to be stepping on any branch's toes here.
As the deal from White, that one will spike into the dessert. As DeJean will keep it in front of him. Now going to be 1-1. Samuel Colasingham, a 2022 ABCA Rowlings NCAA Division I Central All-Region first team member, All-American third team member. Really, the list goes on and on. Mountain West Player of the Year. There's not enough accolades for this guy.
Yeah, it's a CVS receipt of awards for Sam Colasingham this season.
As White comes back out there, runner goes, chopper to Kopak. That one will be foul. We'll do it again. Now at 1-2. Colasingham right now batting .318 on the year, 21 for 66. And like we talked about, that breakout game was here when the Schooners and the Gulls faced each other last, which was the second game into this 2022 campaign. White deals, Colasingham fouling it off in the box. Once again, we'll do it again at 1-2.
As the sun is beginning to go down. I wonder if we'll be treated to another beautiful Newport sunset tonight.
I think so.
Clouds are in the, I think we're seeing the perfect little orange tint in the clouds here. I think we're going to get a nice baseball sky in the books after a beautiful day throughout New England. Opened up for a beautiful evening of baseball as White checks back Ledbetter there, and Ledbetter gets back in time.
And, the weather today, forecast brought to you by Joe Nichols, sunny and 75. Absolutely beautiful day for baseball.
As runner goes, DeJean will snipe down as Ledbetter gets there in time and will steal a bag.
Yeah, picked a fantastic pitch to run on there on the off speed, and this is one he's done. He's so aggressive on the base paths, and on that 77-mile-per-hour pitch, made it in easy.
And like we saw in the last inning, last bottom of the fourth for Newport, putting a runner in scoring position is so vital in these tight games between Mystic and Newport. As White looks to deal the 2-2. As in the dirt, getting away from DeJean. DeJean will fire, however, will eat it, Now a runner will now be 90 feet away from home.
Yeah, a lot of that's instincts. I think as a base runner, there's something to be said about just seeing a ball take a certain bounce and you're off. There cannot be a hesitation, especially when you're going from second to third. That's a harder base to steal, Jacob. Just a great job.
Because you have a direct line from DeJean down to Pagliarini there, and you can't have hesitation like you talked about, Zach. Now it's going to be a full count on Colasingham. As Colasingham will rip that one will go foul, hitting the Cardine scoreboard there.
Foul territory, really kind of eliminated once you get to the warehouse. And that still fairly new Cardines Field scoreboard was built here in 2020.
Scoreboard's become a beautiful home to some adorable little bunnies, our little ballpark bunnies out here. You always see them hopping around the outfield.
As that one run real high on Colasingham, who really has gotten on base every time he's touched the batter's box. Worked a walk back in the first, got a single back in the third, and now working a walk here in the bottom of the fifth as Phil Orby will come out. That will normally mean pitching change. However, that could also mean strategy with runner on the corners, as Phil Orby tends to do this sometimes, working strategy with his infield, especially since he called everybody in here. In a big situation, you don't want to let this one get away from you if you're Mystic, as you're only down 1 run to Newport. A very gettable situation here, as it appears it will be a strategy talk with runners on the corners, potentially working towards a double steal, trying to be prepared for that.
Yeah, that's certainly in play here. I mean, we've seen this speed. I don't have to explain Colton Ledbetter's speed, and it would be an interesting decision here. I think in a 1-0 game, there's a lot of things that are on the table, but Newport has looked, sure, I mean, left on base has been an issue for Newport in this game, but this school's offense has looked different these last 2 innings. Really breaking through with that first run in the 4th. And here we sit in the 5th. They've been seeing the ball a lot better, and that's helped by chasing the starting pitcher in Matt Noonan.
They chased this one, bringing in White here in a relief outing as he continues his work. Now that will have a pinch hitter here for Newport, and that's going to be Noah Martinez. The Central Connecticut guy will come in for Slate Alford here in the designated hitter position, maybe potentially looking for that big break open hit.
Yeah, it's an interesting call, and he did have that breakthrough hit for Newport in the game that they beat Mystic back in Game 2.
Happy to see him back and healthy, too. He's struggling with a little lower body injury. Happy to see him back out here.
Got the start in Game 2 and split the left center gap, a 2 RBI double in a 3-2 game. It was huge.
As White deals, that one will find the zone. Now going to be 1-1. Martinez out of Central Connecticut State University. Martinez standing in at a tall 6'5" in the box. As White deals the 1-1. Chopper back over to White. White will play the run at first. Kopak firing, not going to get him in time. As Ledbetter works his speed and being prolific on the base path. Now going to be a 2-0 Newport lead.
What you just saw, folks, is a base running clinic from Colton Ledbetter. Stealing second, stealing third on that pitch in the dirt. And then, I mean, he made it home fairly easily. That's on a routine ground ball fielded by Mystic. He times the run perfectly. As soon as the pitcher turns his back, he's off.
It really was one of those textbook plays that you want to show. Here's what you want to do in a ground ball to the pitcher, as that one will come in for a strike on Joshua Kuroda-Grauer, who had that leadoff double back in the 4th. A very vital. He's their 1 run for Newport that's come across here in this one. That one runs away from White. Now going to be 1-1. Kuroda-Grauer out of Rutgers University in Somerset, New Jersey. That one now will run in. Now going to be 2-1. Grauer batting .299 in his spring season with the Scarlet Knights. Upstairs, now going to be 3-1. And Grauer batting an even .300 so far on the summer with 1 home run and 14 RBIs. We're going to bring in another one in scoring position in Samuel Colasingham. down low. That will allow Kuroda Grauer to work a walk. Now he's going to bring up Colton Freeman, who had a single and got caught coming home on that controversial play at home where manager Frank Holbrook eventually got thrown out.
Yeah, JKG now has reached all 3 times. He's been up a couple of walks. Newport has stayed so patient at the plate tonight. Here we are in the 5th inning. That's already the Gulls' 7th walk here tonight, Jacob.
It just shows that they, like we've talked about, Zach, in these previous meetings, they don't try and push anything. They don't try and push the envelope too far open, as they just take whatever the pitchers are giving them. And right now, Mystic has been working around the zone essentially, trying to see if they can get them to chase. However, the Gulls have stayed disciplined. That one will go in for a strike. Not going to be 0-1. Freeman, who was named a 2023 team captain for the upcoming college season for the Dartmouth College and the Ivy League, as that one will go foul and out of play.
Put that one right out in the center of America's Cup Avenue.
And a guy, Freeman, who's really seeing the ball well tonight. I mentioned this is his first start in a Gulls uniform. That hot shot to third that ends up getting booted by Pagliarini. Then he reaches on a base hit. So a couple well-hit balls in his 2 times up at the plate.
White deals. That one will ground back over to Pagliarini. Pagliarini will set and fire over to Kopak for the 5-3 putout. However, as Newport's able to get one across in Ledbetter, they take a 2-0 lead as we go to the top of the 6th. Newport Mystic, Chapter 4.
For the first time in league history, the 2022 New England League All-Star Game is headed to Martha's Vineyard, home of the Sharks. On Sunday, July 24th, join the NECBL's best as they ferry over to the island and enter the Shark Tank in front of scouts from every MLB organization. Visit asg22.necbl.com for more information. And don't forget to make your ferry reservation at steamshipauthority.com. Fans, the NECBL's broadcast network brings all of the action right to your home every night. Available on your desktop, laptop, mobile device, as well as your Apple TV, Roku, Amazon Fire TV, or Android TV device. Enjoy single-day passes for just $8, purchase a weekly subscription for $20, a monthly pass for $40, or an all-season pass for $80. Head to watch.necbl.com for more information and for a full streaming schedule. Franklin Sports is proud to be the official batting glove of the New England League. This summer, the NECBL and its 14 organizations join over 200 major leaguers by wearing custom Franklin batting gloves as members of the Franklin family. To design your own custom pair of batting gloves, visit franklinsports.com and join the fam. Franklin is the official batting glove of the New England League. The Newport Gulls Broadcast Network features 7 high-definition cameras, graphics, instant replay, and extended pregame and postgame coverage. Watch the Gulls all season long every Friday night on Your View New England. Be sure to follow the Gulls all season long on our social media accounts at Newport Gulls on Twitter and Instagram, and Facebook.com/Newport Gulls, and subscribe on YouTube.com/Newport Gulls for the latest.
As we welcome back to Cardanes Field, Kevin Sider continuing this one here for the Gulls as he retired his last 2 batters in the Mystic lineup, as that one will be a strike there, 0-1 on Troy McGirt, the designated hitter for in today's contest. It's McGirt chasing that one. Now going to be 0-2.
That moved.
It really had some large breaking movement on that one as Sider, once again, like we've talked about, blink of an eye, it's an 0-2. That one will ring up Troy McGirt looking. Now one away. Bring up Jackson DeJean.
All these last 6, 7, 8, and 9, Jacob, I just got to point this out in the order. 6, 7, 8, and 9 are 0 for 7 with 7 strikeouts. How often do you see that?
Really none. It attests to how efficient Sider is on the mound with his command, as that one will go into the dirt. Not going to be 1-0.
And with that, he has tied the most strikeouts a Gull has in a game this season at 11.
Once again, DeJean chasing. Now going to be Unos across the board. The deal, broken bat, dribbler. Beckstein coming in, making a play. What a beautiful job by Beckstein. Not letting the broken bat get to him, charging it in on it. As all the bat will get picked up as DeJean taking it right off the handle there to retire the second.
Speaking of Dijon, co-worker of ours, cameraman over on the dugout, double fisting tonight, working his hardest. Caden Charpentier, big mustard guy himself, even claims it is the best condiment of them all. But I just wanted to give a shout out to Caden, working hard tonight, doing both of those cameras. Doing a great job tonight.
Kevin Ferrer, the one-hole hitter. We'll look at a strike there for the Schooners. Ferrer, a local guy. That'll be strike 2 there. From Pawcatuck, Connecticut, not too far from Don Stadium in Mystic, Connecticut, the namesake of the team. The deal from Sider, that one outside, and Sider, like we've talked about, works an 0-2 count rather quickly on batters. You can't even blink, and then you're already behind. This time will be called by Kevin Ferrer. The left fielders today, seen a lot of majority playing time out in left field for the Hook C student athlete, as Sider deals the 1-2 down into the dirt. Now going to be 2-2.
And it's also just been, we've talked a little bit about it, but the efficiency. Of course, the K's, that's going to help, but this is a guy that's still working in the low 70s in the pitch count and trying to finish his 6th inning.
And if you've been following these 3 games so far in these consecutive turns, as time called there from Ferrer again, it's been the starting pitchers for the Newport Gulls that have been able to extend into games, work that 6th inning, that 7th inning, and really have allowed their pitching staff to work and allow for the potential to come in here later in games and not use up their entire bullpen.
And he's got a 0 in another column right now. I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to say it yet. But maybe as a listener you could infer. Not trying to bring the jinx into play.
Maybe you want to knock on the wood table over there, Zach. Let's not get ahead of ourselves.
Mystics still trying to break through in this one, as Ferrer will foul that one off down by the clubhouse. Beautiful picture there of Cardines Field. You can see on your screen, looking down that where the 2 dugouts are. As Sider continuing to work. 2-2 now. New balls having to come to the home plate umpire. Sider stets upstairs. Now going to be 3-2.
And Jacob, what is it that's up there, up on that top shelf?
Can't do it. Don't want to. As Sider gets another one. Make that 12, setting a new record for the season for Gulls pitching staff. 12 have gone and retired via the K. We'll come back for the bottom of the 6th right here on the NECBL Broadcast Network.
The chase for the Fay Vincent Senior Cup begins on Monday, August 1st, when the 2022 New England League playoffs begin. 6 teams will qualify this year, each of the 3 division winners and then the 3 teams with the highest winning percentages. The top 2 teams will receive a first-round bye, while the other 4 teams open things up with a single elimination wildcard round. The winning teams will advance to the best-of-3 series for the Final 4, and then the last 2 teams standing will match up in the best-of-3 NECBL Championship Series to compete for the league title and the right to hoist the Fay Vincent Senior Cup. We'll see you in August for the start of the 2022 postseason. Whether you're an island resident or just visiting, the fastest way to get to the Cape and Islands is by taking the New England League's preferred partner, the Steamship Authority Ferry. Visit steamshipauthority.com for more information. Zephyr is the official on-field cap of the NECBL. Also known as the Z-Hats, Zephyr is the authentic college hat with a loyal following of those who only wear the Z. Zephyr makes hats for over 800 colleges and channels that same energy and creativity into building custom hats of all types for pro sports teams, clothing brands, and companies everywhere. Make sure you pick up your Newport Gulls official on-field cap today.
We continue on in Chapter 4 of Newport versus Mystic, as a new pitcher will come in for the Mystic Schooners. That's going to be Jonathan Velasquez out of Stetson University. Number 42, a guy that's making his return season here for 2022, who was with the team last year. Coming into this one, has 1 loss on the summer. Has a 4.76 ERA through 3 games appeared, as that one, a slow-moving curve, comes down on Luke Beckstein, coming in at 70 miles an hour. Beckstein gets a hold of that one. That one will be ripped, as Ferrer will make a play, as that one will not be down, as that one will not be caught by Ferrer. A bobble there from Allen, trying to extend it, not in time. Was Beckstein, as Beckstein tried to push his luck, as Beckstein couldn't get there in time before the throw from Logan Allen. The ball got a little away there from the Bryant shortstop. The aggressiveness of Beckstein wipes that entire hit clear. Now they'll bring up the 9-hole hitter, Jacob Burley.
Give a lot of credit to Mystic there. Beckstein, he read what looked like a misplay by Mystic on that relay, but they gathered it quickly enough there.
That one will come in for a strike. The 9-hole, as that one will run upstairs. Now going to be 1-1. And how much could that potentially be with not having Holbrook over at third, as that one will be swung on and missed by Burley?
Well, certainly some big decisions to make as it comes to the starting pitcher for the Newport Gulls, putting together an absolute gem. I mean, 6 innings of no-hit ball last time he was out. And here we are tonight.
And that one will rip up. Jakonski making a play. What a beautiful job by Jakonski. A ball that would most certainly almost be written off as a hit by many. Jakonski making the backhand grab, firing it over to Kopak at first in time to put Burley away and bring up the top of the order for the Gulls.
Seen some really nice defensive work by both of these teams tonight, and that's how you greet a new pitcher and give him some confidence right there in Velasquez.
Velasquez working so quickly here as Farquhar goes for a big swing and a miss there. Not going to be behind the count, 0-1. Like we talked about, Zach, when you can get behind and ahead in the count, as that one runs high, not going to be 1-1. If you can get ahead in the count, if you're a pitcher, it opens up so many doors and possibilities for you to work some of those breaking balls, some of those non-primary pitches. The 1-1, bunt shown there by Farquhar. going high into the netting. Not going to be 1 and 2. Trent Farquhar out of Michigan State University in Highland, Michigan, watching that one in the dirt. Deal from Velasquez. Chopper down over to Kopak it's going to be Velasquez as he'll get the out. Velasquez and Kopak were jiving for it. Velasquez makes the play. Kopak gets back in there in time. We'll take a look at it right here to show you. Velasquez running right off the mound there. That's
a great heads-up play because that ball's going foul, Jacob, and he gets it just before it does to get the out there.
Yeah, that's going to be a 1-3 put-out. Velasquez comes in and works efficiently and sets the Gulls down in order. We'll go to the 7th. I'll return play-by-play duties back over to Zach Letson when we return right here on the NECBL Broadcast Network.
Fans, the NECBL's broadcast network brings all of the action right to your home every night. Available on your desktop, laptop, mobile device, as well as your Apple TV, Roku, Amazon Fire TV, or Android TV device. Enjoy single-day passes for just $8, purchase a weekly subscription for $20, a monthly pass for $40, or an all-season pass for $80. Head to watch.necbl.com for more information and for a full streaming schedule.
A chaotic chase the goalie race taking place in between innings. A lot of fun for the kids tonight, and well, the Newport Gulls having a lot of fun out on the mound. It's a 2-0 lead. Zach Letson, Jacob Irons, Shane Briggs with you. And another day to remember for Kevin Sider has come to a close. 6 innings, no hits, and a season record for the Gulls, 12 strikeouts. If you go back to his last outing, it is 12 straight no-hit innings for the righty out of Quinnipiac. Utter dominance in the NECBL.
A really dominant performance there. And there was never one pitch that you could, or even one hit that you could even consider would be a hit.
Right.
It was a straight clinic put on by Sider for the strikeout and for the loosely weak hit ground ball from this Mystic team. Sider continues to be stellar like you talked about, Zach, and really now if you're Mystic here, you have to have a little more optimism. Now you're away from a pitcher that you were being no hit by. Now the potential with a new pitcher in this game, especially early, could potentially maybe work something here if you're Joe Jakonski.
It is Cole Stasio, the new arm for Newport. The righty out of Baylor University looks to keep the no-hit bid going and faces Jakonski, Kopak, and D'Onofrio. Certainly will not be easy. It is the heart of this Schooners order. Big cut and a miss on the fastball, and that's the start you want. Quickly 0-2 the count. This is Stasio's 4th appearance in a Newport Gulls uniform. 10 innings pitched across those 3 games, as that is just a touch outside now. 1-2 the count. 10 innings, 8 strikeouts, 6 walks, 6 hits, and 7 in the earned run column for the Davie, Florida native. As that shot into the air, shallow into left. Freeman for a moment could not find it. Now he does, and he makes the catch. And as you could see on Freeman's face out there, a big sigh of relief. That's not only did he find a pop-up, but found a pop-up in what is an important moment here, as that could have been potentially the first Mystic hit of the night.
Especially here And for Freeman, a guy that normally hasn't broken through here, first start of the year, you want to have that first play over at left. You want to have confidence in your coaching staff to bring you back out to that position.
So Jakonski retired. It brings up Addison Kopak. 0 for 2 day. And he was the second in 3 batters that all went down swinging. And boy, was he fooled by that breaking ball from Stasio. 79 on the gun. And a guy that had a real strong first outing with the Newport Gulls back on opening night. 3 innings and no hits given up on what was otherwise a tough night for Newport. A 10-1 loss to Vermont, but Stasio was money. As that's hit back foul. Now we'll do the 0-2 again. Well, for Mystic in that 4th inning, it was good morning, good afternoon, good night. Jakonski, Kopak, and D'Onofrio all went down swinging. And 3 of 12 strikeouts in just 6 innings for Kevin Sider. Another 0-2 from Stasio. Hit back up the middle, and it's through for a base hit. The first Schooners hit of the night.
And now the crazier fact, that's just the first base runner on since the first inning if you're Mystic, minus that hit by pitch by Kevin Ferrer back in the first. This is just the second base runner for the Schooners here in this one.
19 in a row retired.
That just shows you how stellar Sider was on the bump today, Zach. It just goes up against, and now you're going up against D'Onofrio, one of the hot hitters right now in the Mystic lineup with a base runner on.
I mean, that's got to be one of the best starts in recent Newport Gulls history. After a hit by pitch, he retired 18 in a row. Stasio gets the first out here in the 7th before Addison Kopak finally breaks up the no-no. Anthony D'Onofrio, a guy that has had some success in his early tenure here with the Schooners, quickly behind here. Rather make it a, no, he's behind, 0-2 in the count.
And D'Onofrio celebrated his birthday yesterday.
As that shot back up the middle could be 2. Beckstein, Farquhar, Kulisingham not in time. And there's the speed from D'Onofrio paying dividends. Turns into a fielder's choice here now with 2 away.
Yeah, great job by D'Onofrio to put his head down and get over to first in time to not allow the Newport Gulls to turn just their 7th double play. They have the 2nd fewest right now in the league in double plays, only bringing in 6 on the year.
Kuroda Grauer there at shortstop. And Logan Allen, the Mystics shortstop, looking to keep this inning going. Looks at ball 1, and amazingly, Mystic has had far from the night they've wanted offensively, but are still well within arm's reach. Newport just 2 runs on the night, and the Schooners picking up their very first hit all night here in the 7th inning.
As runner
goes to second, a good throw, but it's out of the glove of Farquhar. So give Anthony D'Onofrio a stolen base. He got a great jump there from Stasio and picked a good pitch to run on that pitch in the dirt. Now all of a sudden, for the first time all night, a Mystic runner is in scoring position.
Now if you have D'Onofrio at second base, now that opens up the possibility of scoring here on a base hit from Allen.
Here comes the 1-1 pitch. Popped him up. Ledbetter underneath it, and he makes the catch. So Stasio gives up the hit, works out of trouble, keeps the shutout intact. 2-0 Gulls. It is time to stretch. Here at Cardines Field, we head to the bottom of the 7th.
Number is
Franklin Sports is proud to be the official batting glove of the New England League. This summer, the NECBL and its 14 organizations join over 200 major leaguers by wearing custom Franklin batting gloves as members of the Franklin family. To design your own custom pair of batting gloves, visit franklinsports.com and join the fam. Franklin is the official batting glove of the New England League. The Newport Gulls broadcast network features 7 high-definition cameras.
Nice work.
When the 2022 New England League playoffs begin, 6 teams will qualify this year, each of the 3 division winners and then the 3 teams with the highest winning percentages. The top 2 teams will receive a first-round bye, while the other 4 teams open things up with a single elimination wildcard round. The winning teams will advance to the best-of-3 series for the Final 4, and then the last 2 teams standing will match up in the
Bottom of the 7th here at Cardines Field. And a 2-0 Newport lead, 2, 3, and 4 to the plate to face Jonathan Velasquez. And Alec Makarevich looks at strike 1. A guy that is trying to keep an 8-game hitting streak alive. 0 for 3 today. And shot back to the screen, 0-2.
What better than the present to try and bring in here, especially later in the game, mate. Now that you have runs across, there's not as much pressure on you to maybe try and get the bat on ball, but maybe it happens a little more fluidly.
Makarevich driven high and deep into center, off of the wall. 9 games in a row with a base hit for AMAC.
Alex Makarevich, more like it. Wow.
And there it is. He stays hot. Every game that he's been in a Newport uniform, he has a base hit.
And like we've talked about, just the pop off that bat as that swing you just see right there. It is a huge pop. You could hear it through our headphones here in the broadcast booth with those headset. It was a clean, crisp pop that you knew once he made contact, that had the power and had a great launch angle onto it. Just if the fences just wasn't as tall here at Cardines Field, that thing would have most definitely been gone.
It is a 26-foot fence standing in the way of, I mean, like you said, I think in a lot of ballparks in this league,
I don't think that stays in. I don't think that really,
oh, yeah.
I don't think that stays in many ballparks.
Well, 4 balls off of the bat of Colton Ledbetter have left the yard this season. 3 of those coming here at Cardines with those high walls.
Now if you're Velasquez, you came in the 6th and worked efficiently. Now that's that first.
As Ledbetter high and deep to right field, and that baby is on a one-way ticket out of here.
Oh my goodness.
No doubt about it. Right on cue, he's done it again. For a 5th time this summer, Colton Ledbetter says adios and makes it a 4-0 Gulls lead.
Flap those wings, Colton. As the Gulls flock out to the plate to meet him.
362 feet, 97 off the bat. There was no doubt left. We talked about how he's gotten over the high fence. There is Exhibit A. That ball was absolutely destroyed.
Ledbetter makes no mistake about it.
Over the netting, off of the roof. It is 300 down that right field line. And that, I don't think it matters what park you're talking about.
No.
That baby was long gone.
And you knew it off the bat, too. It had that pop that they've been missing. However, now if you're Mystic, now this one's starting to get away from you. Still within striking distance. However, you got to try and control it here if you're Velasquez coming in this relief effort.
Sam Kulisingham, the Newport batter. Now a 1-2 count. You could sense it coming. Makarevich with a rocket. That resulted in a long single, and then Colton Ledbetter with his 5th home run. As that gets Kulisingham on the foot. And a scary sight there. Hope that he's all right.
They're going to call a conference here, it appears.
And now the question becomes, I guess what these umpires could discuss could be one of 2 things. It could be, did it get him on the foot? Or it could be, it got him on the foot. Did he make an effort to get out of the way of the pitch?
And then you could also maybe potentially add in the swinging aspect of it.
No, that's clean big toe contact right there.
I mean, I think by the reaction Coolest Singham had, I don't know how you could say it doesn't get his foot.
Yeah, no.
And, you know, with it being a foot, and they're going to say that he went around on the swing. Is that going to be the call here?
They put up 2-2, so that would have to be the conversation.
Wow. So Ted Regan, Newport's hitting coach, is not pleased with what is an interesting call right here. And the argument Newport has is Coolest Singham made a conscious effort there to try to hold up on a swing, but these umpires are going to say that it's a strike.
Definitely a night to remember out here in Newport.
And so before Coolest Singham can get back into the box, as the umpires motioned a 2-2 count, it is going to be a mound visit here for Phil Orby and the Mystic pitcher Jonathan Velasquez.
Yeah, the conversation had potentially about how they want to attack Coolest Singham here. Nobody on, no outs, however, giving up 2 runs here. And really 2 hard hit balls for the Gulls.
As pitching coach Dan Gosowski is getting an explanation here from Matt Gattain. So Sammy Kay is going to stay in the box here for Newport. And it's good to see that he's okay. That ball got him
directly.
Looked like it got him pretty square on the foot, as you could tell from his reaction. And he is fighting it off, wearing it. And Newport Gulls pitching coach Ted Regan still standing by home plate here and wants the full skinny from Matt Gattain as to why that call was made. Certainly not every day that you see that call when a guy's hit on the foot.
No, not really. As still having a conversation here on what is definitely an interesting conversation we've had so far today between everybody and the umpiring crew in this one.
I don't think there's any doubt it hit him based off of his reaction.
No.
So that call has to be that he went around on his swing.
Like I said, I think that's what we were talking about here, Zach, when we were watching the replays. Beautiful job by the entire production crew here at Newport. Hands up to all of them for capturing every moment here today in beautiful, spectacular fashion. And just looked like it may have potentially, Coolest Singham may have went around on it.
So he's back in the box on a 2-2 count and looks at ball 3 on the 87-mile-per-hour breaking ball from Velasquez. Base is empty here, still nobody out in the 7th. Back up the middle, jumping play by Velasquez. He gloved it. Oh, what a play. Are you kidding me? Glove work from Jonathan Velasquez for out number 1 in the 7th.
PFP, pitchers fielding their position. Velasquez climbing the ladder to go grab that one. Beautiful snag out of thin air. Like he's a wide receiver on a football team. Makes no mistake. Velasquez now gets one away on a great play against Coolest Singham, a hot bat.
And Martinez looks at strike 1. Martinez, who came in as a pinch hitter for Slate Alford, back for his last at-bat, takes a big cut and a miss there for strike 2 behind in the count quickly. Mentioned that monumental double that he had in Game 2 of Sunday's doubleheader. He made it a 2-0 game early. Newport only scored 1 run the rest of the game, but found a way to get it done. As there's a shot the other way off of the glove of Pagliarini, and throws over to first. It's not going to be in time. So there a misplay right there. The second time tonight, and it has gotten out of the glove of Charlie Pagliarini. And on the ball squared pretty hard off the bat of Noah Martinez. It'll likely go down as an E5 right there and allow him to reach. And so it looks like Martinez is going to go to the dugout here. And we talked about he has made the recovery from that injury. He is heading to the bench. Out comes Spencer Smith. So Martinez's day is done. And Spencer Smith will now be the third player to slot into that 5 spot in the Newport order.
And that DH role, so you're allowed a little more versatility in there because they don't have to necessarily play the field if you want to move around like that. So now with that extended role, a nice team effort here in that 5 spot for the Gulls.
Now 1 on with 1 out for the man tied for the team lead. It hits Josh Kuroda-Grauer and looks at strike 1. He has not been retired today. On all 3 times he's come up to the dish. That included a double that got the bottom of the 4th started.
Yeah, Kuroda-Grauer, who's also second in the NECBL in RBIs.
As that shot foul, and it will hit off of the clubhouse.
Whew.
I was worried for another window there.
Guy with a lot of pop had his first home run of the summer in Newport's last home game against the Keene Swamp Bats. Alford, Kuroda-Grauer, and Farquhar all going deep in that offensive fireworks show. Newport scored 14 runs. It's most in a home game in 4 years.
Yeah, I think the 4th of July shipment might have gotten here early on that one, Zach.
Awaiting an 0-2. Fastball just misses the zone. Now a ball and 2 strikes. Runner goes. That pitch inside nearly clips him. Throw down is not going to be in time. Gets out of the glove of Allen over at short. It is another stolen bag for the Gulls. And another runner in scoring position looking to push this lead to 5.
And this is a great move. Bringing in Smith as a pinch runner, has a great jump on that pitch, able to get over there in time. And now you put a runner in scoring position with 1 away. Now that allows the sacrifice fly to become in the conversation.
Kuroda-Grauer flies it out of play. 3rd stolen base on the season for number 22. Spencer Smith in the game for a moment. And swiping a bag. Throw nearly got there in time, but Logan Allen, the shortstop, could not handle it. Gulls with a pair here in the bottom of the 7th. Thanks to another blast by Colton Ledbetter. Now a 4-0 Newport lead. In what's been a pitcher's duel for much of the night. 2-2, shot back up the middle. Allen has it. Over to first for out number 2. Got his glove down on what was a hard hit ball from JKG. Over to third goes Smith. Now with 2 away.
A great job there by Allen to get his glove down. Like you said, that's a hard hit ball. That's a tough one. And it's going up the middle essentially as well. I got to give credit to the Mystic Schooners middle infielders and Jakonski and Allen for shading closer to that bag, and with their speeds out there, they've been able to cover up that middle because Newport's been staying middle so far today and have been able to work out of it some of those ground balls.
Colton Freeman looks to keep the inning going for Newport and is greeted with a first pitch breaking ball. Recorded his first hit in a Gulls uniform back in the 4th. Also reached on an E5 that came back in the 2nd inning. As that is a rocket, watch out. How about Dan Gosofsky, the Newport pitching coach, with some fast reflexes. That ball hopped off of the Cardinesfield wood down the 3rd base line and came up and would have gotten Coach Gus in the head if he doesn't duck his head there. Another 0-2 to Freeman. This time shot down the other way and out of play.
I would like to say a prerequisite to be a great third base coach, got to have quick reflexes.
And again, he is not Newport's typical third base coach. So I got to tip the cap.
Coming in when necessary.
Another 0-2 to Freeman. This is outside. 1-2 for Velasquez, who has done an excellent job maintaining command of the zone. 26 strikes and just 9 balls for the righty out of Stetson. Ready with the 1-2. That's another foul ball. Another great at bat here for a Newport goal, this time Freeman. Newport has earned 6 walks here tonight. The Mystic Schooners have 0. Gulls have worked these counts they have made these pitchers labor. And Freeman is the latest example of that. Smith over at third base. He pinch hit for Noah Martinez, pinch ran for Noah Martinez. 1-2 from Velasquez. Breaking ball, he got him. Oh, that was nasty stuff from Jonathan Velasquez. Newport with a pair of runs, but Velasquez strands a runner on third. Now a 4-0 Gulls lead heading to the eighth.
Fans, the NECBL's broadcast network brings all of the action right to your home every night. Available on your desktop, laptop, mobile device, as well as your Apple TV, Roku, Amazon Fire TV, or Android TV device. Enjoy single-day passes for just $8, purchase a weekly subscription for $20, a monthly pass for $40, or an all-season pass for $80. Head to watch.necbl.com for more information and for a full streaming schedule. Franklin Sports is proud to be the official batting glove of the New England League. This summer, the NECBL and its 14 organizations join over 200 major leaguers by wearing custom Franklin batting gloves as members of the Franklin family. To design your own custom pair of batting gloves, visit franklinsports.com and join the fam. Franklin is the official batting glove of the New England League.
Newport needs 6 outs for its third win this season against the Mystic Schooners. It is a 4-0 Gulls lead as you get a look at the Newport skyline. A descent of the sun. It is nearly set. Almost 9 o'clock Eastern time, 8:57 here on the East Coast. And Cole Stasio is back out for his second inning of relief to face 6, 7, and 8 in the Mystic Schooners order. Charlie Pagliarini, Tristan McAllister, and Troy McGirt. First pitch, a fastball that tails out and away. Pagliarini looking to reach for the first time tonight. We're talking about 7 strikeouts to the last 4 batters in this Schooners order. That is the job that really, I mean, you cannot say enough about what Kevin Sider did tonight. No. 6 innings of no-hit baseball with 12 strikeouts.
And like you talked about, if you extend back his other relief outings, he's pretty hitless.
There's a shot by Pagliarini, goes just foul. 6 innings of no-hit baseball against the North Shore Navigators in a start there. He gets NECBL Week 2 honor roll. Well, I would expect he'd be on next week's NECBL honor roll with the performance that we have witnessed tonight.
I wouldn't be shocked if he got
Pitcher of the week. Right. I think he's in the running.
I think you put an honor roll contention at Week 2, and then you're like, hey, guess what? Come on, guys,
12 strikeouts. A Newport Gulls record this season. Pagliarini holds up on his swing there now, make it a full count.
And the bigger thing was how quick he worked to an 0-2 count on top of it.
18 retired in a row.
It's pitcher of the week material right there.
Pagliarini stays alive. For Stasio, he works through a pretty stress-free inning, gave up the first hit of the night, but retired the other 3 batters he faced. Kopak is the hitter that broke up the no-hitter with 1 out in the 7th. And another foul ball. This is another good at-bat. Now make it 4 foul balls for Pagliarini at this at-bat. And now he awaits pitch number 8 from Cole Stasio. The third baseman out of Fairfield University. And what we talked about, the swing he had late in game 1 between these 2 teams. And another foul ball from Pagliarini. His 5th of this at-bat.
Yeah, Pagliarini is a guy at the plate that's going to protect the plate with all he has, really. He's a guy that's very disciplined at the plate and understands what he's going to get around on.
Another payoff pitch. And another foul ball. Quite the at-bat. Here from the third baseman out of Fairfield. Mystic looking for a spark. The 4-run hole that they are in now is the largest they've been in all night after the 2-run home run from Ledbetter. And Pagliarini has earned a walk. A well-deserved walk at that on pitch number 10 of the at-bat. He is now on first base.
That's a quality AB, and that's what you need here late in the game when you're down 4 runs. You need your leadoff guy like Charlie Pagliarini to work something there to find himself on base. And now that's just the 3rd runner on base here today for the Schooners. And now that's going to bring up Tristan McAllister, and now Mystic's going to try and start and do something here.
Yeah, and way to put the eyes in Pagliarini getting on base, watching that one go.
McAllister with a foul ball to begin his at-bat, a guy that is certainly capable. And Charlie Pagliarini, a monstrous year over at Mount St. Mary's. First on the team in average at .316. And there's a strike now, quickly 0-2.
And he was a transfer over from JUCO ball, came in here, came to Mount St. Mary and really took over and played in every contest and started all but one of them and really was considered one of those top guys.
Popped him up. That baseball in an elevator comes all the way down, caught by Trent Farquhar for out number 1 here in the 8th.
Nice job by Trent Farquhar, not losing it in the lights. Had a great play on it the entire time. And now you'll have one away here, and the runner doesn't move, and now that's going to bring up a pinch hitter here. That's going to be, looks like it's going to be Eddie Micheletti.
Talked about the catcher depth on this team being so important. Mystic, well, their depth got hit early in this season. Micheletti was called on in the doubleheader. Now he's called on in an important spot here. He's going to pinch hit in the designated hitter spot for Troy McGirt and look to give the Schooners some kind of spark here.
Yeah, and like we've talked about, sometimes that pinch hit can really bring that extra spark you need. Anything to bring that a little extra life to your team. And for Newport, it looked like Frank Holbert getting thrown out was that little extra spark that fired them up to really get into this game. And really, this is the largest lead we've seen between these two teams.
Really in the series this season.
Yeah.
3 one-run games as the first pitch hit back out of play by Micheletti. 8-7, 2-1, 3-2. Those are the 3 final scores between these two squads. Newport with a 4-0 lead here in game number 4. Looking to move to 3-1 this year on the Mystic Schooners and start a streak. Would be the 2nd consecutive goals win as Newport makes the long drive to Laconia tomorrow. That pitch is in the dirt now. 1-1. McGirt finishes with a 0-for-2 day. Pair of punch-outs, one swinging and one looking. 1-1 from Stasio, misses down low. Burley keeping a close eye at Pagliarini, but fakes the throw. And that was the first walk Mystic has earned tonight, and that was a well-earned one, a 10-pitch walk for Charlie Pagliarini. As that shot down the line off of the glove of Kulasingam, it stays in fair territory, bouncing all the way near the scoreboard. Over to third is Pagliarini, and there is the spark. Eddie Micheletti with just the 2nd Schooners hit of the night, and it's a big one here in the 8th.
Yeah, a big hit there, and it's going to be a hit on this contest for Micheletti. And great, that's exactly what Mystic needs here, pinch hit. And like we talked about, that spark is we'll see Pagliarini get a great jump on it. And
that
he's able
ball
to get
was just
moving.
scorched.
It really wasn't. It was just a hard play for Cole Singman. He did everything right. He put his body in front of it. However, it was just so hard hit that it just bounces right off of him and reflects.
Now the biggest Schooners opportunity by a long shot here tonight for the 9-hitter Jackson DeJean. He looks at strike 1.
This is a big opportunity here, as now you'll have the top of the lineup and Kevin Ferrer, one of the hottest bats in the Mystic Schooner lineup, in the 1 hole, due up here in this inning, no matter what happens to DeJean.
There's a strike. The only way to avoid that would be to get a ground ball double play. With Kevin Ferrer on deck. Runners on the corners now. A first trouble that a goal pitcher only has had to work out all night. Mystic had a runner on second in the top of the 7th. Newport worked out of it, but here with a bigger opportunity. Runner on third, Pagliarini. Runner on first is Eddie Micheletti. Becomes just the 4th Schooner to reach tonight. As Dijon could not hold up on that swing. A nasty pitch upstairs from Stasio for strike number 3.
And Zach, where was that again?
That's where Grandma stores the cookies, isn't it?
Right up on the top shelf.
So Stasio with a big bounce back. That his second strikeout out of relief, and now one more out to get. The leadoff man, Kevin Ferrer, digs in and fouls the first pitch away.
Here, if you're Mystic, you can't really, you got to try and plate one here just to make it within striking distance. You don't want to let this opportunity go to waste.
One swing of the bat can't tie the game, but it can bring you a little bit closer. As that breaking ball in there for a strike. Quickly 0-2 to the leadoff man. Mystic with 2 on for the first time all night. Can Stasio work out of it? As that shot down the left field line, sliding stop by Beckstein across the diamond. And it's Kulasingham gets his body in front of it, but he cannot corral it. Not sure it would have mattered. Ferrer hustling down the line. He's safe. And with the first Mystic Schooners run of the night is Charlie Pagliarini. Now a 4-1 game.
Yeah, great base hit there from Kevin Ferrer. A hard hit ball that makes Beckstein just to eat it and works onto the line. And a great job by Kulasingham there to keep it in front of him. However, just so much happening over at that first base area. Kulasingham can't really corral it.
Now all of a sudden, the Schooners, after struggling all night offensively, have the tying run at the plate. Jakonski looks at ball 1. He was the last out in a streak of 18 batters in a row retired by the Newport Gulls pitching staff. And the first batter that Cole Stasio faced out of the bullpen. And now a 2-0 count to the second baseman. Four hits for Jakonski in that doubleheader. Without one tonight, it would be massive if he could come through. Fooled by the breaking ball. Right there, my goodness. And now it's 2-1. 4 for 11 against Newport. Here playing in his third game against the Gulls this summer. And watches that pitch miss upstairs. And a hitter's count here to the North Carolina Tar Heel. Jakonski now 3-1.
Now here, if you're Jakonski, you have to imagine that you're going to have maybe the stop sign on, unless it's your pitch, to try and load him.
That's inside. He did have the stop sign. And boy, if things gotten interesting. The bases are loaded for Addison Kopak.
Not the guy you want to give bases loaded to.
He has a home run in Cardinals Field already this season, and Dan Gosofsky is out on the mound. It could mean a pitching change. It could mean a discussion. Newport, you'd imagine, you can't see from our vantage point, but likely to have something brewing in the bullpen. Stasio looking to complete his second inning, but Mystic is really making him work for it here in the 8th. As you do get a look at the Newport arm, it is Jack Bunnell out of the University of Washington, warming right now for the Gulls. This could either be a ploy to stall for time, or it could be a pep talk for Stasio to try to get things together. He's going to stay in the game here, and what is unequivocally the biggest at-bat here tonight.
It really is, and like we talked about, we saw Phil Orby go out to Jonathan Velasquez back in the bottom of the 7th and talk to him after he gave up that 2-run homer to Ledbetter and then fired back to get the next 3 retired. So a big spot here in this game, no matter what side you root for. And this is going to be against a big bat in Kopak.
3 extra base hits against the Newport Gulls this season in his first 3 games. One here could tie it, or it could even give the Schooners the lead. First pitch in there for a strike.
And like you touched on, Zach, Kopak against the Gulls is batting an even .400.
4 for 10 in his first 3 games, and he's the guy that broke up the no-hitter. A 1 for 3 night tonight with that single that came in the 7th. And fooled him on that pitch in the dirt.
A strong breaking ball there.
And this Newport crowd going to make some noise, cheering on their team in the biggest moment of the game so far. Bases loaded for the Schooners 3-hitter. Stasio ready with the 0-2. Did he go around? No, he did not. Oh, with the entire Cardines field crowd holding their breath, Kopak gets another opportunity. What a huge spot. A ball and 2 strikes for the man that plays right around the corner at the University of Rhode Island. Bases full of Schooners. Here's the pitch. And he just stays alive.
That's a beautiful job by Kopak. This is a huge at-bat here. Just to find a way to get lumber on it is what you need to do in this situation. And like you said, Zach, we're going to have to do it again at 1 and 2.
Bases full of Schooners. They have their first run here in the 8th, looking for more. Stasio's 1-2. Just misses down low on the fastball, and now a 2-2 count.
Woo. This is hold your breath material for both teams here in this one. Now Deuce is wild on a wild night in Newport.
Can Stasio pick out the biggest down of the night? Here's the pitch. That's another foul ball from Kopak, and the at-bat continues.
Kopak continuing up there to protect and do his job, especially in this big of a situation. If you're Mystic, you can't leave runners on in this tough spot.
So we'll do it again. Nowhere to put the 3-hitter Addison Kopak. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs in the 8th. Stasio ready. Here's the pitch. Ring him up, strike 3. Cole Stasio leaves him loaded and picks up the biggest out of the night. 3 Schooners left on base and a 3-run Gulls lead intact through 7.5. Oh, baby, a sigh of relief for everybody here at Cardines Fields. 4-1, the score here in Newport, as you get a look at the huge strike 3 from Cole Stasio. A 3-run lead for Newport here. Plenty of action across the entire NECBL. So, Shane, our field reporter tonight, why don't you give us a peek into the rest of the NECBL outlook here on a Wednesday night?
Yeah, Zach, like you said, plenty of action on tap around the NECBL. First off, we have Upper Valley taking on Keene State. Keene leading 3-2 in the top of the 9th. Then we head on out where North Adams and Bristol are dueling in the top of the 10th right now, tied 1-1 in extras. Bottom of the 9th, North Shore and Sanford are also tied.
Wow.
Another close game out there. Currently here, Newport leading Mystic 4-1. Vermont by a large margin, beating the Valley Blue Sox 8-0. And lastly, Martha's Vineyard up 9-2 on Ocean State.
Well, the Vermont Mountaineers, they've been the story of the NECBL.
They really have been rolling.
18-2 now. I mean, and it's crazy. The first of those wins, of course, coming against Newport, and emphatic winners tonight against a pretty good Valley team. Have won 11 games this year, and the Mountaineers just rolling right through them.
And like you talked about, really, once a team gets hot, they can get hot, and you can just keep it going. And that's Vermont. We saw them at Dodd Stadium last week during our 3-game home stretch, and really, it's one of those teams that they just have everything cooking for them right now, and they have just shown no sign of stopping.
Plenty of nail-biters around the NECBL. We talked about a one-run game in the 9th inning, a game in the 10th that's tied, and another game in the 9th that's tied. We were on the precipice of having a tie game right here at Cardines Field. Instead, Newport maintains a 4-1 lead as we go to the bottom of the 8th.
Yeah, as we'll have a pitching change coming in. It's going to be Zachary Simon coming in, number 40. As 47 will come in. This will be his first appearance in the 2022 season out of the University of Tampa. This is a guy that's also returning back here for the Schooners, as he'll come in as a relief pitcher here, which has been a full bullpen effort for the Schooners.
So Mystic makes a change on the mound. Newport makes a change at the plate. Hitting in the spot of Luke Beckstein is Ben Rounds. Looks at ball went outside. It'll be interesting to see how Newport handles it from a defensive standpoint, with Rounds being an outfielder, Beckstein being an infielder, but plenty of versatility throughout this Newport lineup defensively to make it work. As Simone fires a strike there on the outside part of the plate. Rounds coming in off of the bench. A Harvard University student athlete.
Good amount of Ivy Leaguers on this team, Zach.
Plenty.
They are student athletes, after all.
That is a high chopper. It'll be a tough play by the shortstop. Not nearly in time for Allen. A real high hop, and Ben Rounds has an infield single.
Yeah, great job by Rounds. Just a hard hit ball that just takes a steep dive into really the ground that allows Allen to play back on it a little bit, then to allow Rounds to get to first.
7th goals hit of the night, and it looks like, as he got a shot right there, his day is done. He's going to come out, and Cam Clayton, the Newport infielder, we talked about how's Newport going to make it work defensively. There's your answer. Cam Clayton, Newport's shortstop, checks in over at first to pinch run, as the 9-hitter Jake Burley digs in here for the Gulls.
And we saw how good a pinch runner was for the Gulls back in Smith coming in. Spencer Smith coming into the game was able to work his way all the way to third, eventually couldn't score back in that big 7th inning. But that pinch run was allowed them because he had a stolen base in there and was also able to reach on fielder's choice.
And I know we talked about Freeman being a massive personality here, but let's give Burley his due credit as well. A guy that we saw singing along to his walk-up song, waiting for everything to settle in. And also just another great guy, another guy that's always there, always talking with you, humble guy, nice guy, fun to be around.
Looking to continue, move the line along for Newport, maybe get an insurance run here, as the leadoff man is on here for the Gulls after averting crisis in the top of this inning. Waits on the off speed that comes in upstairs, and now a 1-1 count to the catcher out of Bryant University. We've talked about Ivy League representation, and now 3 different batters from the Ivy League have stepped in for Newport tonight between Burley, Freeman, and Rounds. 1-1. Swing and a miss. He tied him up. That pitch kept on just sailing inside and really fooled Jake Burley there.
It really did, as it started out, like you said, pretty much down Main Street, and then last second worked its way in for Burley to was already around, so he had to swing there. Now going to bring up a 1-2 count.
Big pitch here for Simone. 1-2. Breaking ball upstairs. DeJean's going to fire down to first. That was close, but Clayton's back in there with a dive. Oh for 3 day for the 9-hitter Burley tonight, but one of 3 Newport catchers on this roster. Clayton fakes the steal, and now he'll be off and running as that pitch skips in the dirt. It is strike 3 called, but Burley's not going to have a opportunity to go to first, as first was taken there by Clayton. So even though it is a swinging strikeout in the dirt, Burley does not have the opportunity to run to first, and instead is the first out here in the bottom of the 8th. Productive still in some way, form, or fashion. Clayton gets to second as a guy that really likes hitting at Cardines Field. Trent Farquhar steps in. He had his 15th hit here just at home. Newport's only played 8 home games.
Zach, do you want to say it or should I?
Well, he should probably be known as Lord Farquhar here at Cardines Field. He brought in a .583 batting average in home games coming into tonight.
When you have a guy that goes off at home, especially in summer baseball, it's always awesome to have because your fans can get connected to a player.
That's smacked the other way. Even the foul balls are entertaining. And this is a guy that has really done it at home. Both of his home runs have come right here, including one in the bottom of the 8th in Newport's last home game against the Keene Swamp Bats off of the light pole in right center field. Here he steps in with Clayton over at second. One down here in the 8th. Newport looking for insurance. Another off-speed pitch that misses upstairs, and now a 1-2 count to the second baseman out of Michigan State University. One of the best hitters in that Spartan batting order. He did not sit a single game all spring. 1-2. High in the air and deep to center field. Way back near the wall, but caught by D'Onofrio. No, he dropped it. Oh, my goodness. So now hustling around third, coming to the plate is Clayton the slide, and they got him. We have seen everything you could see in a baseball game tonight. That the latest example. And, what's the call here? Farquhar's going back to first base. This ball, we get a look at the replay. That just popped out of D'Onofrio's glove. And so Clayton had to hold with being less than 2 outs. Farquhar gets to second on just a wild night here at Cardines Field.
Yeah, so Farquhar from the official score will reach second.
It's got to be an E8.
It would be an E8. And then Clayton gets thrown out there. A beautiful job by the Schooners defense, really.
And I'm not much about that play at the plate.
No, as they just were able to work in, and everyone, as D'Onofrio hit his cutoff and able to get it to DeJean quick enough to hold Clayton.
Makarevich looking to keep the rally going for the Gulls. And he pops it up now behind 0-2. He extended his hitting streak to 9 in his last at-bat. Has not played a game in a Gulls uniform where he doesn't have a hit. 1 for 4 tonight with that single that was shot off of his bat and off of the center field wall. That came back in the 7th inning.
And like you talked about, Zach, when you have a guy that is able to get it done in the spring and then carry it over into the summer, that just proves so great for him as a baseball player because they can do it in multiple different leagues and with multiple different bats because we're going from college baseball, which is you have your aluminum bat,
right,
and then you go to the wooden bat and still see the same productive nature out of him. That just speaks to him as a great baseball player.
Not the easiest transition to make for any player.
By no means.
And watches another pitch outside, now 2-2. He came up after playing in the Super Regional round. That, of course, going on right during the NECBL season, but a welcomed addition the moment he arrived here to Newport. 2-2 the count. Simone ready with the pitch, and he'll stay alive. Newport is still looking for its first run here in the 8th on just a wacky play in the outfield where Anthony D'Onofrio just dropped the ball in center field. The Schooners bounce back. They get the out at the plate. And now here with 2 away, Farquhar stands on second. Makarevich watches ball 3. And we've talked plenty about the at-bats worked by the Newport Gulls tonight. And just making these pitchers labor. Here's the latest example. Amack looking to reach for the second time tonight. Here's the payoff pitch. Shot down the line, and it clangs off of one of the light poles here at Cardinals Fields.
These Newport hitters have been disciplined in the box, and they haven't forced anything. I think I've said that countless times today because it's factual. You can easily get down in those hitters' counts and try and force at-bats. However, they've done a great job staying disciplined in the box. It allowed themselves to get on base and really allow themselves to come across.
Another payoff pitch. Upstairs, ball 4. Another walk worked by the Newport Gulls. Patience is the name of the game. And why not be patient when Colton Ledbetter's right behind you?
Really, because Ledbetter, you don't really might as well get as many on for Ledbetter in this situation because you saw Ledbetter
put some ducks on the pond.
Put some ducks on the pond for Ledbetter, who can most certainly have the power to clear this place without even a questions asked.
That's what he did his last time up, a 2-run shot for his team-leading 5th bomb this summer. As that's in for a strike. No doubt about it, 366 feet to right field, clearing the net. That net is there to protect the houses. And I really hope someone's house didn't get damaged, but Colton Ledbetter cleared that net. That skips in the dirt. Both runners are going to advance 90 feet, and that ball gets over the line out of play. Well, what's going to be the call here? They're going to keep the runners at second and third. Well, it's worth mentioning because there is a white line right where that net starts near the Gulls dugout. If it goes over that line, it is out of play. And it's worth mentioning because if both runners are already at their next base, they could be granted an extra base. Luckily for the Mystic Schooners, a break is avoided right there.
Yeah, now that's going to bring out a conversation from Dennis Long and the pitching coach here about what they want to do. They have 2 away here as Newport's trying to work a little 2-out magic here. And like you talked about, Zach, try and play a couple more insurance runs because right now it's a 3-run ball game.
And we just saw in the top of the 8th, Mystic had the go-ahead run at the plate and a guy that you would probably handpick to want at the plate in that situation.
Agreed, and that's Mystic has the ability to really get hot here late in the game.
Can Colton Ledbetter put this game to bed? That's what he's hoping to do right here. Even a single could potentially plate 2 and really create some much-needed breathing room. Runners on second and third now with 2 away in the 8th. And Ledbetter with a shot back to the net. 5 home runs now give him 17 RBIs. Also picked up his team-leading 13th walk tonight. Doing just about everything east of the Mississippi. Faced with a 1-2 count here from Zach Simone. Looking to keep Newport off the board here in the bottom of the 8th. And he popped him up where the infield dirt meets the outfield. A little bit of chaos, and that ball falls. 2 runs in to score as Ledbetter's going to reach. It pops out of the glove of Logan Allen, and it's a 6-1 Newport lead. Miscommunication, and you could tell from the moment that ball went in the air, 3 Mystic fielders converging, and Allen just did not see it in time.
First baseman, number 5.
2 runs for Newport in the 7th, now 2 more in the 8th. And a game that was once a pitcher's duel, Newport has taken command.
And really, like you talked about, that's a tricky situation because you have infield, outfield meeting. But let's give credit to the Newport Gulls runners. With 2 outs there, they understood that they have to be dealing.
Throw down a second. It's another stolen base from Colton Ledbetter.
What doesn't this guy do? Have we found anything? Can he pitch? Is he the closer tonight too?
Oh, we have to check what the official score would be. He stole a base earlier in this game, moved up on a wild pitch, so that will likely go down as his 2nd stolen base tonight. That would also tie him for the team lead. It is remarkable what we are watching in Newport with number 10. It's cool to Singham, a big swing and a miss on the off speed.
Ledbetter is one of those guys right now. Whenever he comes up to the plate, you got to hold your breath because you don't know what's going to happen. And then when he's on the base paths, you can't take a sigh of relief either because he's efficient. And when he's out in the field, he's done a great job. Ledbetter is just a really great all-around ball player that everyone should take note of here in the NECBL.
Cool to Singham looking to drive him in, and he fouls the 1-1 down the third base line. Ledbetter reaching for the second time tonight. And Newport, this was a 2-1 game, rather a 2-0 game in the bottom of the 7th. Now a 6-1 Newport lead. Seeking its 10th win this summer in this airtight, packed race in the Coastal Division where nearly every team is really within arm's reach right now. 1-2. Tried holding up his swing, and he did on the pitch. Oh, they'll check now, and he did hold up his swing. Now a 2-2 count to Sammy K.
Yeah, really, right now in the Coastal Division, it's anybody's game because you have Newport a half game behind Martha's Vineyard Sharks. Then you have the Ocean State Waves, who's gotten hot as of late. They're 1.5 games back. Then you have Mystic, who's 1.5 games back, and the North Shore 7 games back due to a little bit of a slow start to their year.
As there's a shot by Singham straight away center field, and underneath it to make the catch is D'Onofrio. 2 more in to score for Newport in the 8th on the ball that the Schooners could not catch. Now a 6-1 Gulls lead, its biggest of the night, needing 3 more outs for a victory. I'll be right back at Cardines Field.
Franklin Sports is proud to be the official batting glove of the New England League. This summer, the NECBL and its 14 organizations join over 200 major leaguers by wearing custom Franklin batting gloves as members of the Franklin family. To design your own custom pair of batting gloves, visit franklinsports.com and join the fam. Franklin is the official batting glove of the New England League. The Newport Gulls Broadcast Network features 7 high-definition cameras, graphics, instant replay, and extended pregame and postgame coverage. Watch the Gulls all season long every Friday night on Your View New England. Be sure to follow the Gulls all season long on our social media accounts at Newport Gulls on Twitter and Instagram, and Facebook.com/Newport Gulls, and subscribe on YouTube.com/Newport Gulls for the latest video highlights and exclusive interviews.
Newport is 3 outs away from picking up its 10th win of the season. And in to try to close the job is Jack Bunnell, the new Newport arm on the mound. He makes his 3rd appearance this season, 3 2/3, all coming out of the bullpen for Newport, and has given up just 1 hit over that span, 2 runs, both of those earned, 7 strikeouts, and 3 walks for the pitcher out of the University of Washington. Looking to polish off what has been a wild roller coaster ride here at Cardines Field, get Newport its 5th home win and its 10th win overall. And I give you a little score update. Martha's Vineyard is up 7 runs on the Waves, so the Sharks would maintain first place, but have also played 1 more game than Newport. Gulls looking to move to 10-8. Martha's Vineyard on the verge of moving to 11-8. Schoon squad on the verge of falling to 7-9 here. And we've had entertainment in all 4 games.
We really have.
There has not been a game that these two have played this year that has not kept you on the edge of your seat.
It really, as broadcasters as well, we like to say that we see 44 games of baseball. I think every game here has kept me on my toes when these two teams meet, and I'm assuming that's going to stay consistent here in matchups 5 and 6 down the road here later in the season.
4, 5, and 6, that's the final hope for the Schooners. Anthony D'Onofrio, Logan Allen, and Charlie Pagliarini. Mystic needs a huge rally here in the 9th, trailing by 5. Big cut and a miss. Gulls making a couple changes on the infield. We saw Luke Beckstein come out of the game. Alec Makarevich, he makes the move to third base. Cam Clayton takes over at shortstop, and Josh Kuroda-Grauer moving into the outfield playing right. D'Onofrio reached on a fielder's choice back in the 7th, but otherwise a couple of strikeouts for the center fielder, the late addition for Phil Orby's squad. Behind 0-2. Fastball comes in upstairs.
These Newport pitchers have done a terrific job of working that first pitch strike in key situations.
There's a shot off the bat of D'Onofrio, and that is a fair ball down the line. A huge turnaround first. He's going to stop there. It is just 300 feet down the right field line here at Cardines Field, and the new right fielder, Josh Kuroda-Grauer, got to it swiftly to keep him at first base.
Yeah, great job by Grauer, who, like you said, first play in
the ball
right
finds
field.
you, doesn't it? Isn't that what they say?
Yes, exactly. When you're sitting out there trying to figure out your bearings, you just have a magnet sometimes on you in that situation. And really does a great job corralling it and holding D'Onofrio, a speedy base runner, only to first here.
Now it's Logan Allen. He looks at ball one upstairs. Both D'Onofrio and Allen kind of on the wrong side of a couple of mishaps out on the field. And the Gulls, they took advantage, especially on the one from Allen, who's standing at the plate. Burley with a throw down to first, and back in with a dive is D'Onofrio. Newport had runners on second and third, and Mystic induced a pop-up, shallow into left from Ledbetter, but Allen could not track it down. It bounced off of his glove, and runs 5 and 6 came in to score. 1-1 pitch from Bunnell. There's a breaking ball upstairs now. 2-1 the count to the shortstop, who yet in this fourth game of the season between Mystic and Newport is suiting up for the first time in this rivalry. Native of Magnolia, Texas, attends Bryant University. Swing and a miss on the fastball. And could not catch up to it there for strike 2. A .271 average with a home run and 22 RBIs, and a transfer from Bridgeport. A veteran here in summer collegiate baseball is Logan Allen. As that's hit back to the netting. Call him a veteran because he played 4 summers ago in the NECBL with the New Bedford Bay Sox, who were now no longer a part of the league. Whew. And played in 12 games in that season. That was 2018.
You can call him an NECBL veteran.
Doesn't get much more veteran-esque than that. And now he's earned a full count. That pitch skips in the dirt from Bunnell. Burley with a block to keep D'Onofrio at first. Right here, you can't tie the game. You just got to keep the line moving.
Exactly. If you're Allen here, got to protect the plate, and you hit the nail right on the head, Zach. You just got to keep it moving because you're not going to do it yourself here when you're down by 5.
That's hit back to the net. And this at-bat continues. We saw last inning the at-bat that a third baseman, Charlie Pagliarini, had a 10-pitch walk. Not quite at the 10-pitch tally yet, but this is a grade A-B being worked by the 5-hitter Allen.
Especially here when you have no outs and when you're deep in the hole here, down by 5. Anything you can do to work it out is going to be best your ability, and it's going to be a team effort here for Mystic.
Swing and a miss, he got him. On the payoff pitch, Bunnell just blew it right by him. And there is out number 1 in the 9th.
That's a big out if you're Newport here. Now you have confidence, especially in Bunnell after allowing D'Onofrio to single to lead it off. You regain a little bit of confidence once you work that last. You're able to work that out.
Now a ground ball could potentially end this game. Charlie Pagliarini hoping that's not the case. Newport playing with a shift over to the right side, and there's a shot deep into the night here in Newport, and that baby is on a one-way ticket out of here. For a second time in 2 games at Cardines Field, Charlie Pagliarini goes yard.
Pagliarini likes to call Cardines home, apparently, after that big grand slam in game 1. He'll get a home run here, and now Mystic trying to inch their way back into this one.
That ball was destroyed. I want to talk about pull power. Colton Ledbetter with one, and Charlie Pagliarini with one. You don't often see home runs to that part of the park, but this is really a lefty-friendly ballpark. Just 300 straight down the line at Cardines Field, 318 in right center, and that ball square into the net above the 26-foot fence, making it now a 3-run game. Big cut and a miss for Tristan McAllister for strike 1.
And 90 miles an hour approaching the lettering there on that pitch.
Pitch misses downstairs. Now 1-1 the count to the right fielder. Looking to reach for the first time tonight a pair of strikeouts. And, well, nearly every Schooner tonight has gone down via the strikeout at one point or another. There's strike number 2. Talking about 15 strikeouts tonight by Gulls pitchers. Can Bunnell pick up number 16? He's already got one here in the 9th. That shot the other way. Kulasingam fields. And he'll take it to the bag himself for out number 2.
And like you touched on, Zach, these last 2 games and now this 3rd game have been pitching clinics from Newport in all aspects, from their relief pitchers to their starting pitchers. Their pitchers have come out and shown out, which allowed them to get out in front, especially in some of these crucial games in the Coastal Division.
Eddie Micheletti is the last hope here for the Mystic Schooners. Ball, oh, it's in there for a strike. I was going to say that ball nearly came in, clipped him on the jersey. Well, you could say maybe standing a little close to the plate, and that can maybe change from what our vantage point is from what home plate umpire Matt Catane's vantage point is. As Dan Gosofsky will now go out and chat with Bunnell out on the mound. And Newport infield's going to gather here. And, well, we hope Jack Bunnell is all right. Now a Newport Gulls trainer is going to come out on the field, and you saw Gosofsky immediately motion as if, well, something's not right with Jack Bunnell. That is one of 2 trainers on this team, Sarah Barker, out to talk with Bunnell, as well as home plate umpire Matt Catane. And they're going to motion to the bullpen. So that's going to do it for Jack Bunnell. And again, we certainly hope that he's all right. Not exactly sure what this injury is or the nature of it. He exits the game, and a new Newport pitcher enters on the other side. 1 more out to get for a Gulls victory. We'll be right back.
Franklin Sports is proud to be the official batting glove of the New England League. This summer, the NECBL and its 14 organizations join over 200 major leaguers by wearing custom Franklin batting gloves as members of the Franklin family. To design your own custom pair of batting gloves, visit franklinsports.com and join the fam. Franklin is the official batting glove of the New England League. The Newport Gulls Broadcast Network features 7 high-definition cameras, graphics, instant replay, and extended pregame and postgame coverage. Watch the Gulls all season long every Friday night on YourView New England. Be sure to follow the Gulls all season long on our social media accounts at Newport Gulls on Twitter and Instagram, and Facebook.com/Newport Gulls, and subscribe on YouTube.com/Newport Gulls for the latest video highlights and exclusive interviews. Whether you're an island resident or just visiting, the fastest way to get to the Cape and Islands is by taking the New England League's preferred partner, the Steamship Authority Ferry. Visit steamshipauthority.com for more information.
It is a new pitcher out to try to finish this one off for the Newport Gulls, 1 out to get. And it is the Gulls veteran, the second-year Newport Gull, Peter Sakalaris. The second-year Newport Gull, he steps in just needing 1 out after appearing in 15 games last season with Newport. The Gulls sidewinder now appears in his 4th game this summer. He has yet to give up a run. 3 2/3 innings pitched, 3 hits, no runs, no walks across the board. For the submarine-style pitcher, he's also got 2 strikeouts to boot. Eddie Micheletti is the last hope here for Mystic, who have tried to spark a comeback here. A 2-run home run from Charlie Pagliarini has made a 5-run game, a 3-run game. But still, work needs to be done, or the Gulls will have their 3rd win this season against the Mystic Schooners. Micheletti came in and pinch hit for Troy McGirt, ended up reaching base on a hard hit single on the right side. Sakalaris' first offering, there's another hit. This ball fair down the left field line. Could be extra bases. Micheletti not stopping, and he's in the second standing up. You want a spark off the bench, you got one. Eddie Micheletti 2 for 2 off of the bench, and all of a sudden this game's still alive here.
Yeah, really. Eddie Micheletti coming in back in the 7th to pinch hit, was able to bring in a run his last time he was to the plate, and now gets on in a double here. And now Mystic has a little bit of life here, bring up Jackson DeJean.
It's up to the 9-hitter to try to keep this game going. As that slider nearly came in and clipped him. Did it? Yes, it did. Well, we could hear it from up here. It sounded like it just grazed his jersey. And what a turn of events. The tying run is going to step up to the plate here in the top of the order, and Kevin Ferrer.
What a wacky game, like we've talked about all season long between these two teams. It comes down to the last batter, and Ferrer, a hot bat, who has 1 home run on the year, back up in Upper Valley.
As that shot over to Makarevich. He'll step on the bag, and that does it. The Newport Gulls pick up victory number 10 on the season. And a wild, wild game here at Cardines Field. The final goal, 6 and Schooners 3. That's what you got to do. Take a sigh of relief. And what was a 5-run game in the 9th inning, Mystic threatened with the tying run at the plate. And on 1 pitch, the leadoff man, Kevin Ferrer, retired. And this game is history. Newport wins for the 3rd time over Mystic this summer and improves to 10-8. We'll break this one down for you entirely on the Newport Gulls postgame show coming up shortly. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Fans, the NECBL's broadcast network brings all of the action right to your home every night. Available on your desktop, laptop, mobile device, as well as your Apple TV, Roku, Amazon Fire TV, or Android TV device. Enjoy single-day passes for just $8, purchase a weekly subscription for $20, a monthly pass for $40, or an all-season pass for $80. Head to watch.necbl.com for more information and for a full streaming schedule. Franklin Sports is proud to be the official batting glove of the New England League. This summer, the NECBL and its 14 organizations join over 200 major leaguers by wearing custom Franklin batting gloves as members of the Franklin family. To design your own custom pair of batting gloves, visit franklinsports.com and join the fam. Franklin is the official batting glove of the New England League.
Put it in the W column for the Newport Gulls. A crazy game here at Carnings Field has reached its conclusion. Gulls 6 and Schooners 3, the final in matchup number 4 between these two teams. As we welcome you now to the Newport Gulls postgame show, Zach Letson joined alongside the voice of the Mystic Schooners, Jacob Irons, as well as Newport Gulls field reporter Shane Briggs. Matchup number 4, it did not disappoint,
It
Jacob.
did not disappoint by any means, and it was really, it's one of those games that you have to circle in the calendar for 5 and 6, because although this one wasn't a one-run game, essentially
it felt like one.
It felt like one
Right.
because of how close Mystic was knocking on the door in the 8th and 9th inning. It's one of those games that you have to imagine it could go very differently if you don't have Sider pitching. And Sider, who pitched a great performance for the Gulls, all in all, it's one of those games that you just really have to look back on and say the score isn't very reflective of it.
Well, it'll go down as one of the best pitching performances in recent Newport Gulls history. 6 innings of no-hit ball from Kevin Sider. He has pitched now 12 consecutive no-hit innings. And tonight, he exited with a 2-run Newport lead. He gets the victory, 12 strikeouts. So not only does he pitch 6 no-hit innings, he has the most strikeouts of any Gull all season with 12. Unequivocally, tonight's South Coast Health player of the game. I mean, there's just not enough things you could say about Kevin Sider.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Just an absolute masterclass of a pitching performance. You don't throw 12 strikeouts by accident. That
No,
is,
you don't.
That's not something you just stumble into. That is a man who was in command of the mound tonight and just absolutely dealing. Guy who might have a career working in a casino dealing if that baseball doesn't work out for him, because that was an impressive showing.
He had one more punt at him here on the post-game show.
Well,
you never know when it's going to end, right?
That's the thing, Zach, is we're just an endless fountain here.
Yes, we are. It was a wild game. Newport's 8th game here at home this season results in its 5th win. Newport 6 and Mystic 3. We talked about it felt closer than a one-run game.
100%.
It felt closer than the 3-run final because Mystic had the go-ahead run at the plate in the 8th, then had the tying run.
Yeah.
When it seemed like that was not going to be possible, it was a 6-1 game going into the 9th, and yet the tying run still came to the plate.
You said it right on. The tying run came to the plate. It was a gritty effort by Mystic to try and work themselves back into this game. Once you pull Sider out, Mystic was starting able to see the ball a little bit more, and it became a big spot for Mystic, and they were able to work back in. That pinch hit by Eddie Micheletti back in the 8th, I think, was extremely crucial here for that Mystic, because he's 2 for 2 on the game when he comes in. Great job by Eddie Micheletti to come in that pinch hit spot and produce. And I really just think Mystic ran out of time clawing themselves back out of the hole Sider dug them in, because 12 strikeouts on the day is a phenomenal day altogether.
It was another masterful performance. Don't want to assume anything, but expect to see an NECBL honor roll selection. Who knows, maybe even pitcher of the week, as we talked about.
Yes, like we talked about. It's definitely a pitcher of the week because he no-hit them. And then we also can talk about going back to other appearances. This is
second straight 6-inning no-hit performance. I just have to say that again because we are watching history in this league in terms of what Kevin Sider's done. He earns the win tonight. Newport with 2 runs to support him. He exited in a 2-0 game, and the Gulls with 4 runs late. The highlight of that, a 2-run shot, the team leading 5th of the season, team leading RBIs 16 and 17 for who else but Colton Ledbetter. He got it done for Newport. The Gulls put 6 runs on the board and head to Winnipesaukee tomorrow with a 2-game winning streak intact. Well, this was a wild game. Newport moves to 10-8. Mystic falls to 7-9. Jacob, it's not the last time we'll work together this year, but it's been an absolute pleasure having you.
Same as always, Zach. Always a pleasure when we get to meet in the booth here and get to talk a little Gulls Schooner action.
Absolutely. So we will step aside for Jacob Irons and myself, Zach Letson. I will toss things over to Shane Briggs. He'll run you through the NECBL, this game, standings, whatever we may have it, the context of this one, as I will look for Kevin Sider down on the field, tonight's player of the game. So we will step away. But Shane, it is all yours.
Absolutely. Gentlemen, thank you. Pleasure as always. Like Zach said, ladies and gentlemen, we welcome you into the post-game of what is probably the wackiest game of baseball I have ever witnessed. Between Frank Holbrook getting tossed from this game, 6 no-hit innings, 12 Ks from Kevin Sider, a home run from who else but Colton Ledbetter, and just an Eddie Micheletti home run to bring everything back into a game that we thought was completely out of reach, bringing that back into reach. And just yet another memorable night here at Cardines Field with some fireworks and just about every aspect that you could ask for. So with that all wrapped up, let's take you for a little trip around the league. I know we alluded to most of it earlier, but just to give you a final recap, the Upper Valley Nighthawks did end up falling to the Keene Swamp Bats, final score of 3-2. The Bristol Blues did hang on to win against the North Adams Steeplecats in 10 innings out at Muzzy Field. Out in another extra innings bout, the Sanford Mainers were able to take down the North Shore Navigators again in 10 innings. The Vermont Mountaineers, a resounding 8-0 victory over the Valley Blue Sox out at Mackenzie Stadium. The Martha's Vineyard Sharks, showing my Rhode Islander there, taking down the Ocean State Waves 9-2 out at the Vineyard Ballpark. And last but certainly not least, your Newport Gulls taking down the Mystic Schooners here at Cardines Field. Thank you for coming, everybody. A pleasure as always. Pleasure was all ours. And until Friday night, this is Shane Briggs signing off. You'll be hearing from Zach Letson momentarily down on the field with the South Coast player of the game, Kevin Sider. Thanks again, everybody. Have a great night.
Motion me in. Okay, cool. All right, it's the man of the night tonight, Kevin Sider, the Newport Gulls starting pitcher. An unbelievable outing, Kevin. 6 innings, no hits, 12 strikeouts. What was working for you tonight?
A little bit of everything, for sure. Luckily enough, I was able to have Jake behind there, and me and him called pretty good games together. So we were just really comfortable, really dialed in all game. It was fun, man, for sure.
Yeah, well, this extends a streak going back to your last start against the North Shore Navigators. 12 straight no-hit innings. That's just – does that not sound ridiculous to you?
It's cool. It's a cool accomplishment. It's a cool feat. But, I'm just trying to win for the boys. Try to get a win for the Gulls every time because that's the most important thing.
Well, this Newport pitching staff, from a starting pitching standpoint, has been fantastic. 16 in its past 16 innings, just 1 earned run given up. A long drive tomorrow to Laconia, New Hampshire, to face Winnipesaukee. How do you keep this thing going? Because this has been the story and really helped the Gulls now to back-to-back wins.
Yeah, hopefully we can just continue with the pitching and defense. Obviously, that's the most important thing going into games. The bats got a little hot today, which is a good sign. Definitely put up enough runs and hits. So hopefully we can just kind of piece things together up there and come away with another dub.
All right, that's the Quinnipiac arm, Kevin Sider, with a masterful night. Kevin, thanks for the time.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Go Gulls.
All right. 12 strikeouts, a Gulls record so far this season for Kevin Sider. And it finishes off really a crazy night here at Cardines Field. Newport 6 and Mystic 3 as the Gulls move to 10-8 on the season. Well, we mentioned it. Newport will be right back in action tomorrow in Laconia against the Winnipesaukee Muskrats, and right back here at Cardines Field Friday night for the Pell Bridge Series against the Ocean State Waves for a 6:35 start. Well, for everyone working with us tonight, Shane Briggs and Jacob Irons up in the booth, Tom Lima back down in the control room. I'm Zach Letson signing off for the final time. Newport 6 and Mystic 3, and we'll see you right back here on Friday.
Mm-hmm.